held by Hamas.
Demonstrators blocked a highway near Modi, calling for an immediate ceasefire in the Gaza conflict.
Typhoon Kajiki battered southern China, bringing heavy rain and strong winds to Hainan and Guangdong.
The storm forced evacuations and disrupted transportation across the region. Hundreds of thousands were relocated to safety as flooding risks rose. Schools and airports closed in affected areas.
Australia severed diplomatic ties with Iran, accusing the nation of orchestrating anti-Semitic attacks. Joseph Eckerson with the latest.
Prime Minister Anthony Albanese announced the decision in a press conference in Canberra. The move follows investigations linking Iran to 2 incidents targeting Jewish communities.
President Donald Trump signed executive orders to bolster law enforcement in Washington, D.C. The measures aim to address rising crime rates in the capital city.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Blind dog is your blind best friend.
Damn good coffee and hot.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
And also blah, blah, blah.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Blah, blah, blah.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
Oh, good day. You're welcome. Did that go in? What kind of name is that? Did that go in? I'm not sure what I'm looking at. That's... Oh, it's a drone with tinfoil on it or something. We'll have to look at that later on. Good morning, folks. It is, feels like a Wednesday. I feel like I'm getting hump day. Wednesday, August 27th, 2025. A wonderful autumn-like day in the end of summer. Summer winding down. Sad to see it go, really. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are, as we like to say, even though we don't really hope that for you. We hope you're having a rotten day. Listen, there's no hope or anything, so whatever happens, and chances are it is a rotten day. Most often, quite rotten. Today we have a show for you, and I can't pronounce it. It's just a 5-letter last name, and I'm not sure. It's Magun, and is it Magun? Magan? It's where you put the accent. There's just 2 little vowels in there, and where do you put the accent on it? Is it Magun or Magun or Magun? Anyway, Eric Magun, who is a filmmaker and punk rock musician, and now first-time author. Thank God for this. Sinners is the name of his book. I don't think I even loaded up the book. There's a thing, a jinx, just something I fall into. If I snooze really 5 minutes, and generally I'm in this studio at least an hour before the show has to go on, and generally sometimes an hour and a half. But if I snooze for 5 minutes, I come in, the computers fuck with me. They're like, you know what, we're going to go a little slow today. We're gonna just see if we can get him to lose his temper. And they succeed most of the time in getting me to lose my temper. Today, they switch places. Like, this one was giving me I was up at the best, and this one was behaving. Anyway, we got it solved in time. Eric's not supposed to be here until 10:15 today, so it'll just be me and GD talking about Homer's Odyssey. Homer's Odyssey, yeah, which is what the book is a retelling of. We're getting a lot of retellings lately. Well, not so much on this show. I had one on the Wednesday evening program last week. By the way, Wednesday evening program this week has been rescheduled to September 8th, so I have no show tonight, but I might do a paint with Matt thing. I might, because I feel like painting. Don't you feel like oh, did Jordan Peterson just make an appearance? An unscheduled appearance on my program. I think I'll cry now. So yeah, and I'm still trying to figure out buttons to push. I'm looking for buttons to push. So in the meantime, while I look for buttons to push, listen, you're not buying Dubby. Get to the Dubby stuff. Don't you love energy drinks? Here you go, Dubby. Get some Dubby. Here, I'll take the lid off for you. Get yourself some Dubby. There's a link in the description for you to get some Dubby. Where's my Dubby link? Here it is. Dubby. Make sure you use the Mind Dog at the end there. That ref, why you don't need that stuff. Where it says Mind Dog, from the question mark on. I don't even know why that's there. I could change that. Get that question mark out of there. Who put that question mark in there? Well, who's question marking me? Let me try this one more time. Without the, there you go. No, but still there. Fucking question mark. I'm sorry. I'm saying fuck too many times. I did hear from somebody, not necessarily the company of Kick, but somebody who is big over there wrote me a letter and said they are fighting a lawsuit or an attempt to take them down. Oh, by the way, get your W. I'm going to take the W out, but get the W. Get your energy drink. We're still on Kick as of today. They asked me not to, and I don't know. Again, they're not with the company. Why does it matter to them that I'm talking about their issue? Well, their issue is fucking societal. It's not necessarily, I don't care about their company. And I understand they care about their company. And not to beat this dead horse on air and torture that dead horse until it dies on a marathon podcast. But this is a serious thing. And it's not about one streaming company losing its way and just not having any rules. And you talk, oh, what do you want? Censorship? Yeah, when it comes to killing people on the air for entertainment, yeah, I would like that censored. Yes, I would. I would like to have no snuff films available to people. I think a snuff film should be. I think, you know what, censorship. I get it. It's a slippery slope. But when it comes to killing people for clicks and views, I think we've gone too far. And this is exactly what happened on Kick. I don't know. Maybe I should take us off of it now. We're not on bitch hoot. Still, it seems like they have me running running the entire infrastructure back there, because they keep telling me, well, we have a very small team. Well, you turned off your live stream. Your entire business is based on live streaming, and people can't live stream because you got the links pointing to old.BitChute, like it's a backup. And if you take the old out and go to the new BitChute or just regular bitchute.com, you see a whole different experience, but you still can't live stream. Your business is based on live streaming, and you can't live stream. Sorry, BitChute. We tried to help. We wanted to help promote BitChute. But again, I think BitChute is one of these people that promote censorship-free, completely free speech. And while that sounds like a good idea, when it comes to killing people for shits and giggles, maybe just a little bit of censorship. Maybe just a little. I'm going to take that dubby thing out. See, I'm just all dubbed up. If you could tell, I'm a little sniffly. But that happens usually happens in September. But I think somebody rotated the earth to fuck with the seasons or something. That's what I'm thinking. Do you think that? Anyway, I'll play a dopey little commercial for something that you really should buy. You really should buy something here, because we're not selling anything. Go to the merch store, buy something. Support the damn program. In the meantime, get yourself some Daily High Club stuff, okay? You know.
With humble East Coast beginnings in 2015, Daily High Club is the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and consumption accessories. If you're looking to elevate your smoking game to the next level, you're in the right place. With over 1 million top-quality smoking products sold, and with a growing base of over 10,000 monthly subscribers worldwide, we deliver the ultimate smoking experience. But Daily High Club is not just a retailer, we're lovers of the smoking scene ourselves, working with giants like Tommy Chong, Snoop Dogg, Chanel West Coast, and more. Ready to join the Daily High Club? Let our experts curate your collection with our awesome El Primo monthly subscription box, or grab one of our fun and unique pieces from our smoke shop. Click the link in the description below this video to get this party started now.
Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of fun pieces to grab, in the room with me now, the funniest piece to grab, Didi Fenderson. Good morning.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Are you concerned that being a person of color, you may be harassed by a Trump stormtrooper? Use the following Mind Dog mind trick. I am not the ones you're looking for. MindDogTV.com/merch. Enjoy the suffering and support your local mercenaries.
How about this? I'm one of the good ones. And I don't have a t-shirt for it, but I'm one of the good ones. I should have a t-shirt for it because maybe then somebody would actually, maybe not. Nobody's going to ever buy anything in our dopey store. They don't love our dopey store. They're just here using us like a cheap whore. That's all I am to these people, a cheap whore. And you are my cheap whore sidekick.
I thought that just going to call me your cheap pimp. Good morning. Good day, sunshine.
Good day, sunshine. Who was singing Good Day, Sunshine recently?
The Beatles.
Yeah, but somebody did a guest thing with them. Somebody like you wouldn't expect on a television show. Somebody's singing along, like not Anthony Newley, but somebody like that goofy. Some old dude just singing Good Day, Sunshine. I don't know.
Yeah, it was the second baseman from the Mets.
It was Tim Tuffle. Tim Tuffle. Anyway, it is Wednesday, right? It does.
It is Wednesday. I know that because Stephen Ortiz had his standard Wednesday type joke.
Oh, give me that. What is his standard?
I don't know the exact wording, but I would do my best. I think he goes, "Hello, good morning."
Right, you're not gonna do it. You're gonna do it well. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, whether you're a fucker or getting fucked, it's hump day. Whether you're a fucker or getting fucked, we're halfway through the week.
Yesterday we had Dr. Dean Howell.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Croydon sent me a message. Congratulations for booking Dr. Dean Howell. Like, is he a big get?
Maybe in some circles. It's like when I asked them about the Theosophical Society, and they said Alice Bailey. And not Alice. Did I say Alice Bailey?
I don't know.
Madame Blavatsky. Maybe it would. I don't know. I don't know if it's Alice
Bailey.
No, you
did say Madame Blavatsky. That came up in the text, and I was like, I don't remember that being said. But when I saw that in the transcript last night, I was like, Madame Blavatsky. What?
And I misspoke when I said she was an anti-Semite. I was getting Madame Blavatsky mixed up with Alice Bailey, and I apologize to the memory and the children of Madame Blavatsky if I'm wrong. And I apologize to the children and offspring of Alice Bailey if I'm wrong. One of those two was an anti-Semite. I remember that from school. I think it was Alice Bailey now.
I used to get Beetle Bailey and Beetle Blavatsky mixed up.
I don't blame you. They both had a dog named Otto.
Yeah. Did you know that, first of all, Australia cares about the Jews? Apparently, Australia has severed diplomatic ties with Iran or Iran. as Christy Kamaguchi likes to say. I did not know Australia even had any Jews to worry about, so there's that. But
Well, there are converts, because remember, Australia was a big prison colony, and a lot of people in prison convert to, other religions when they find salvation. So they may have a very heavy conversion rate.
Yeah.
They may have a high Aussie to Jewish conversion rate.
Conversion rate.
I'm sorry, man. I am so sleep deprived right fucking now.
I know. I haven't slept. I'm not sleeping well. It's just the thing about getting old. You don't sleep well. I mentioned yesterday I sleep like a baby, which means I piss myself and wake up crying every 2 hours, and I need a tit stuck in my mouth for some reason. That seems to help. But yeah, so Australia has a Jew problem. Not a Jew problem. Don't be mean to our
An anti-Jew problem.
Yeah, an anti-Jew problem. But they're just figuring out now that Iran doesn't like Jews. I'm pretty sure.
I think it's in their constitution.
It's been common knowledge for like 5,000 years, right? It's like, oh, we just figured out they got breaking news for 5,000 years.
I don't know if Iran would be 5,000 years. I mean, because they were Persian to begin with, right?
That's the same thing. They just changed.
Yeah, but the Persians didn't hate the Jews. The Persians loved everybody except for
Greeks.
The Greeks and those pesky Greeks.
When
Greeks with their fancy salads.
When we got thrown out of the dorm because I was away visiting a girlfriend in Buffalo, and we got thrown out of the dorm because I lent some people my key I was a resident assistant in the dorm in my
Yes, and you were also aiding and abetting the theft of candy machines. But go ahead.
Yes, that's exactly. So we got thrown out of the dorm because of those guys running the show while I was away for like 5 days. And then we were looking for a house, and as we were looking for the house, the day before the Iranian hostage crisis broke, and the landlords in the town of Port Tallis, New Mexico, they saw me and they looked at me, and because the Iranian thing was in the news, they looked at me and they said, "Are you one of them Persians?" And I didn't even know what a Persian meant at that time. I was like 19 years old.
Do I look like a fucking cat to you?
What the fuck? And I couldn't.
Do I look like a fucking rug?
I couldn't imagine. Like, why are you asking me if I'm a Persian? I'm not a rug. What the fuck? What is? So they weren't shy about breaking the law and saying, well, we're not gonna rent to people who I have to prove I don't even know what a Persian is. I'm Italian, Italian, German, and Irish.
Yeah.
By the way, somebody called me a dumb guinea the other day, and I snapped back with them, half German and half Irish. Oh, and they did. It was like the Godfather thing. Well, fuck you too, you Kraut Mick. Like, I can't. But I wasn't gonna rent.
Fuck all threes of you.
Yeah, yeah. How would you pronounce Magun? Is it Magun, or Magan?
I was looking at that because I was writing it, and I was thinking, how do I spell it? How do I say this? And I realized I'm writing it. I don't have to say it. So I would have said McGun.
McGun, my gun.
Yeah.
My gun.
Right? Was it?
My gun.
Now I forgot. Is
Talking
it MACGUN?
My gun. My gun.
My gun.
Yeah. So once again, I will be disrespectful to a guest because I can't pronounce their name right. But you know what? These publishers should give me a phonetic spelling when they send me.
They should. I do that, even though Fenderson. I don't think Fenderson is a difficult name to have to spell, to pronounce. When I write it out for people who actually don't know me for the first time, I give them a phonetic spelling. And I also give them things like, I'll say, like a car bumper had a baby boy. So
a car bumper had a baby boy.
Yeah, Fenderson.
Oh, I get it.
Good morning, Ann from California. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, everybody in the whole Sunshine. Aloha. Now, Sunshine, can I ask, are you in Hawaii? With the aloha, I mean, And I'm confused
I
about.
thought we established that she was in one of the lower 48s. And I mean really lower, like maybe Florida.
Did
But I
we
can't remember.
did we establish that? So
Well, I don't know that she told us that, but I think that's the state we assigned to her. I think I don't because when people in the chat room, they could be anywhere. They really could. We don't know. So we just assign them states.
They're right behind that curtain. That's
Right.
where they are.
They could be anywhere. So we just assign them states. They live where we say they live until they can prove otherwise.
Say that you could be anywhere again.
I forgot. Well, how did I say it?
You just said it could be anywhere, but it sounded very
They
much
could
like
be anywhere.
See, that sounds like the Rev. I don't know.
No, I've listened to the Rev, and I think I've learned to do a pretty decent impersonation of him, and because I've listened to him so much, it was like, "Good morning, brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us today. Because wherever you are, wherever you want to be, you may not be where you want to be."
It's a pretty good impersonation. I got to say, that's a pretty damn good. If I didn't know, I would swear that was him talking.
Well, it was funny because yesterday was when I was being interviewed for Live 365.
Oh, I missed that. Damn.
That's okay. It turns out that the show itself is live, but what they do is they pre-record the interviews, and then they plug the interviews in. So I may be on next week. So even though it's a live show, it's like in the old day when you had the carts. Remember, I know you know this, Matt. See, people, you don't know this, but back in the day of radio, commercials and certain segments that were pre-recorded were put on carts, and the carts they look like 8-track tapes almost. They're kind of like 8-track tapes, but of a slightly different shape or different same configuration because it's a loop. At any rate. So they go like a word from our sponsor, and they had to jam that sucker in there. So,
depending on how old your machine was,
you may have to wiggle it a little. So.
Well, the station that I first worked at was built in 1957. and they had no new equipment in there. It was still the original equipment. So
were they still using teletype to get the news?
Yes, they were.
Because we got news on teletype.
Yeah,
a teletype machine.
Yeah, and all the original equipment, man. Basically, they did have a color television, which I almost threw through the control room window at one point. But that was it. That was like the newest piece of equipment they owned in 1990s. So yeah,
I think our newest equipment. I think our newest equipment was the teletype machine.
Wow.
I think I'm trying to think which was newer, the teletype machine or the cart for the commercials. I think they already had the carts, but we used to do live reads also.
They got a horse before the cart.
Oh, that's right. We did. That's true. We did. You're right. I remember now. It was a pretty old station, AM station, an AM college station.
There is breaking news here. Breaking news.
Damn, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to break. I just want you to know, Matt. Sometimes I feel good talking to you because I don't know a lot of people. It's not just that we're the same age. We have some of the same experiences. So when I talk about the cart in the radio station, we're right there. I love that. That's the one thing. If nothing else about you, I do love the fact that we have so many similar things that it saves me so much explanation for you.
Yeah, we remember when you actually had to chisel the message in the rock and then tie it to the pigeon, tie it to several pigeons,
and hope that it could hold its breath if they went over water, because sometimes they just
a whole school of pigeons to carry a heavy rock.
Yeah.
There is breaking news. The most overused phrase in the English language now is breaking news, right? Drone footage captures unexplained object over Gadzowice, Poland. Gadzowice, Gadzowice, Gadzowice. Now, I want to
hold on. You know what we got to do. You know what we have to do.
Please stand by. We are having difficulties pronouncing foreign names. Please stand by. Please stand by. We are having difficulties pronouncing foreign names. Please stand by.
Cities or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to share this because it seems to me this is not a UFO. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's not an alien thing. It's not. Where is it? Come on, load up. Why aren't you loading up, bastard?
Because aliens are preventing you from doing that.
Wow, it takes a long time. Here it is.
Yeah.
You see that? Can you see even the thing that they're talking about?
Yeah, I see. It's like a little white dot that's moving
Yeah,
and little white
are you
jerky
sure there
thing.
wasn't like a fly in your house or something, or in front of the? Oh, there it is. It looks like a bird, right? And when they stop it like that, I don't know. It looks like a bug, or it could be one of them dragonflies, a white dragonfly.
Why was it so herky jerky?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, because of the drone footage? I don't know. But it seems to me this is getting carried away with the idea of, that could be like something from another planet. No, that's something from a dust ball or
Yeah.
something.
Or as Ozzy Osbourne would say, ball lightning.
Yeah. More and more people are glomming onto this rock, or it's either a rock or a mothership, depending on who you talk to, that is flying through our solar system now at 152,000 miles an hour, which is pretty fast. Fast enough to qualify for the Indy 500, I think. 152,000 miles an hour. But they're saying I know it looks like a rock, but that's really a holographic disguise. It's really a mothership, and they knew we'd be looking at them, so they disguised themselves as a rock. And it's due here, I think, October 19th, which is right around the time of our 1,000th episode. So maybe we'll have them on. The people running the mothership there, have them on the show. I don't know.
Well, let's not make a big deal out of it, or otherwise we'll have another hell bop situation with
What
people.
the hell bop are you talking about?
People with Nikes and shrouds and $1.25 in exact change. Like they need, like there's a toll, $1.25 toll to get past the comet.
You leave out the most important detail there. I'm sorry.
Okay, good. They're dead. That's a pretty important detail.
Yeah, that's not the one that the news cares about. That's not the one that's going to get us the big ratings. Big ratings. No, they self-castrated. Not that they were castrated. Listen. How to whatever the guy's name is.
Doe. Right, it was Doe.
Credit to him.
Because he's from the planet Raimi.
How influential do you have to be? I mean, how much of a hold over you would I have to say, GD, I would like you to take out a dull knife and open your pants and cut your own scrotum off with a butter knife. I would like you to do that.
I had difficulty pulling off the bandages after I got circumcised. that was traumatic enough. Yeah. I am not, repeat, not self-castrating. And I'm going to put up a fight for anyone else who tries to do it outside of self.
Yeah. So good for him to be able to convince people to do that. And
that's who we need. Those are the kind of people we need on our side when it comes to fighting wars, because you could talk people into doing that. You got yourself. You got yourself.
There will be no protest.
No, but they could be like SEAL Team 9. I mean, with that kind of dedication, it's like you will not feel the bullets. You now have night vision inherent in your eyes. You don't have to wear it. Just go walk naked. Whatever. You don't need that. That's serious. Hypnosis. Hypnosis.
Yeah.
Mind control.
You say SEAL Team 9. Are they adding more SEAL teams? So it's like,
oh no, that's a funny thing. SEAL Team 6 gets all of all the stuff, but there's like SEAL Team 7, SEAL Team.
I think the guy earlier this week was that earlier this week?
Whatever. He was SEAL Team 6, I think.
I thought he was 7.
Well, there's more than one, because it's funny. I wrote a bit, and I thought I was being funny when I said I wasn't good enough for SEAL Team 6, so but I was on SEAL Team 5 or something like that. And so I Googled how, if there's a SEAL team. Yeah, there is. I think if I was on one of the other SEAL teams, I would really hate having lunch with somebody from SEAL Team 6.
Yeah.
I would.
They get all the fucking credit, definitely. They get, you know what? And nobody ever checks their ID to say, were you really, I mean, the guys who killed Bin Laden, there could have been a SEAL Team 5 guy who snuck his way in there. No, I was like, I don't know. It's just, fuck 6. That's what I'm saying. Now they'll be here to kick my ass. Which one was Jesse Ventura part of?
Well, that's okay. You would never know it if they did.
Oof. Somebody signed me up for some fucking, and I'm certain that somebody did this as a malicious act. They got my email address and put it into like some adult dating thing. Well, I get these emails. Well, I saw your. I don't have a fucking profile. What the fuck are you telling me you saw my profile? But they say stuff like, "I got you seem like a strong, confident man." Like, what would give you the indication? A picture of me, or I don't know, whatever this person wrote, I'm not going to go there and hunt down my profile, because then it's kind of, I don't know, leaving some kind of digital cookie there behind on that stuff. But it's not just one site. I'm getting them from lots of sites, and this started like 4 months ago. I promise you, I've never been on any of these fucking dopey silver singles or whatever they fucking call this stuff. But I'm getting inundated with it. And then one woman said, I hesitated to write you. And I was like, well, I didn't hesitate to click the trash button. So
of course I Googled it. And this is not the same information I was given last time I Googled it, but the last time I Googled it was almost like a year ago. But apparently SEAL Team 6 isn't even their designated moniker anymore.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna read it out loud and see if you're understanding it like I am. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
And I'll read it in my morning voice.
I'm excited.
Yeah. SEAL Team 6, also known as DevGRU, Naval Special Warfare Development Group, is not the only SEAL team. While SEAL Team 6 is a specialized unit within the U.S. Navy, there are other SEAL teams, such as the Green Team, which operate under the Special Operations Command, or SOCOM, and are classified as Tier 2 units. SEAL Team 6 is a Tier 1 unit, focusing on high-risk missions, and is often referred to by its moniker SEAL Team 6, despite the official name change to DevGRU in 1987.
Wow. What are seals also known as? Seals go by another name. I mean, the actual animal is seal.
Meat.
If you're a shark, yes, they're food. A snack. They're known as snack.
Yeah.
Sea lion. Sea lion. Now, what's the difference between a sea lion and a seal?
I think it's the whiskers and the size.
Or they don't roar like a lion, and then the shark eats them because they heard them. I don't know. So maybe they call Sea Lion Team 6 now. I don't know.
I think and this is just a chemistry thing. I think a seal is just a regular animal, just a regular balanced animal, and a sea lion is technically a seal with the electronic charge.
I am the walrus. I don't know if you know that about me.
Seal lion. See, because an ion is fuck it. Somewhere out there, there's a geek is going.
Yeah. So I hate to break into news and politics. You think?
That's right. That's right. I forgot. I'll say I was thinking there's a difference just in size and stuff, but I forgot. Ears. One of the most notable differences is that sea lions have external ear flaps, while seals do not. They have only small ear holes.
Ear holes. Ear holes.
Yeah, and sea lions possess larger front flippers that allow them to walk on land, while seals have smaller flippers and move on land by wriggling on their bellies, a motion known as galumphing.
That's interesting. Now, which one? I really thought they were the same thing. Which one ends up in the circus going? Is that seals or sea lions?
If it's galumphing, just bouncing on his belly to walk, it's a seal.
Wow.
If it's walking on its flippers, then it's a sea lion. But I'm assuming it would be a seal because I think seals would be easier because I think they're smaller and therefore they eat less.
All right, let's book both a sea lion and a seal on the program, and we'll get them to share some hate.
Oh yeah, see, seals are the circus ones. It says body size. Generally, sea lions are larger and can weigh between 220 to 2,200 pounds. While seals, that's while. Oh no, see, there's something fucked up here. See, because this is while seals typically weigh between 99 to 7,100 pounds. No, see, there's something fuck up. There's something missing in the AI thing here. Yeah, they got something screwed up with the weights.
Yeah, well, it's like my weight tends to fluctuate anywhere between say like 225 to 5,088 pounds. That's what.
Yeah. So, but there. So I knew that there was a difference in size and face, but I forgot about the ears and the flippers.
No, segueing here. How far are you from Baltimore?
About 36 miles walking, about 52 minutes driving.
Wow. So would you notice if the National Guard started pouring into Baltimore?
I would not notice it physically, but I think I would hear about it because most of my living family that still lives in Baltimore reside there.
Well, according to social media idiots, it's going to happen today, I think. Or
I thought Chicago was next on his. I thought Chicago was the one that Trump wanted next.
Chicago, New York, Baltimore.
Yeah, I thought as far as the order goes, I thought Chicago was next because Trump is currently having a beef with the mayor of Illinois, right. and Trump is all about retribution and stuff.
He called that Pritzker guy. Is that his name, Pritzker?
Pritzker.
Pritzker.
I think.
He said he needs to go to the gym and lose a few pounds.
Oh yeah.
Does Trump not own a mirror? Does he not?
Oh,
That would explain
Trump owns a mirror, but like the rest of his sycophants, it just lies to him.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Yeah, well, oh my God. Yesterday
he has one of those funhouse mirrors that makes you look thinner. Not one. He has many funhouse mirrors.
Yesterday, somebody shared a video from one of the cabinet meetings, and I swear it was just like slobbering all over the head of his cock with praise. It's just like, dear leader, nobody has ever had such a glowing, glistening cock as you have. We love the taste of your cock, dear leader. Oh my God! It would make Kim Jong-un or whatever fucking make him jealous of all the kind of dick slobbering.
He is hanging banners of his face off of buildings, and of course it's saying like 250 years. It's like, no, you just want to throw your fucking face on there because you could actually put like something American on there, not you big fat fuck. Yeah, something like an apple pie, 250 years, or something American. Baseball, 250 years, something American, not his dumbass. He doesn't even care about the country. He's only using it to get rich.
And to say he just doesn't want to die in jail. Now the libs have gone totally crazy because yesterday his hand was turning black and stuff, and I guess he forgot to put up enough makeup, and he's doing a lot of this.
Well, that's just it. Not enough makeup. There is not enough makeup to cover that shit up.
Right. And they put out a fake doctor's report. I don't know. Are you aware of that? Because I haven't read that whole thing yet, but trusting because the people who have got this in their headlines are generally trustworthy sources. I think Kyle Kalinske and that Jack Coachella guy, and they were saying that Caroline Levitt attempting to get out in front of this Trump is dying wish list is saying that she put out a false doctor's report, like a made up doctor's report, and got caught on it. Now, I don't know. I guess I got to look up the details on that. But he's not. I hate to be a spoiler. He's not going to die of natural causes. He's going to die of a bullet shot to his own head by himself in either the tunnels under the White House or the bunker or wherever the White House bunker. This is how
I think he's going to die from a severe allergic reaction to accidentally telling the truth. I think somebody's going to feed him a fact, an actual fact, and he's going to repeat the fact, unadulterated, not twisted or anything, and his body's going to have such a reaction, and nobody's going to have an EpiPen nearby, and his tongue's going to swell up. He's going to be able to not breathe anymore. He's going to turn whatever blue and orange makes. Was that brown? What does blue and orange make?
Blue and orange is kind of brownish, yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to turn a shade of brown. And then at that point, they're going to deport his ass.
Huh.
He'll die in transit.
Wow. Derek Sheen this morning, and I appreciate this. He said he hopes he does in the bathroom, shitting himself, and they don't discover him for a day or two. Kind of like an Elvis thing, right? Like, I think that would be appropriate for him.
Yeah, but I think people would know something is wrong if he didn't tweet or do something on social media for more than 9 hours. They would say something is not right. Somebody go find the Orange Man. And Secret Service would be like, we're looking for Orange Crush. Anybody seen Orange Crush? Where's Orange Crush?
Pam Bondi is in front of, I guess, the Senate. Is this the Senate? Saying today's cabinet meeting, I informed President Trump that El Mayo, this guy's named after a fucking condiment, has been sentenced to spend the rest of his life in prison, exactly where he belongs. He didn't even have a trial, right? They just went and grabbed this cartel leader, brought him here. No trial. He's been sentenced, though. I mean, who sentenced him? If you don't have, they couldn't have had it. Like, what was like a traffic court? Like, how do you plead? I mean,
night court. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is the cartel. You would think even people they drag here from other countries, they get a trial, right? I mean,
maybe they had the trial in the other country.
We just say, "Oh, you're guilty. Come on, you're sentenced." And that's it. Like, this is what we become. If you want to say we're not the Fourth Reich after that kind of thought, well, they can just say you're guilty and we're going to sentence you. Like, no trial, no due process whatsoever. Not that I want to see this guy get any due process.
I have this reaction. I have a more visceral reaction to the people that follow Trump than I do to Trump, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I do too.
I mean, when I say like the Pam Bondis and just the people that voted for him, I have a much stronger visceral reaction for those people than I do for Trump himself. Because Trump, in the way I understand his motives. You know, he's aside from the fact from being a narcissist who wants to be really rich and all powerful, because he's not loved and he never was loved. And he just wants to be loved. He's just so fucking scared. He's so fucking scared. And so he's just terrified. He's just a terrified human being.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But the people that coddle him, the people that support him, the people that follow him, that just bugs the fuck out of me.
It is mind-boggling how anybody could look at that and say that's a strong leader. Like, really, and that's an honest man, or anything that I mean, you have to really just really work on trying to delude yourself into believing that. I think. And now I've never been one to defend Donald Trump, but here goes. Brian Tyler Green, you know Brian, and I like Brian Tyler Green. He's usually right on point. He's right on point even here. He was talking about Trump said yesterday.
Is that Brian Tyler Green or Brian Tyler Cohen?
Cohen, I'm sorry.
Okay, now we're talking about the same person. Gotcha. Yeah, I like him too. Brian Tyler Green.
I got Marjorie Taylor Greene and Brian Tyler Cohen.
Oh, okay. I get them mixed up too. Yeah.
They look alike.
Yeah, it's the same butch body.
He was upset that Trump said many people are saying I think I like a dictator.
Right.
You see where this is going. But in Trump's defense here, and this is just the mildest defense I can come up with, is he's absolutely right. Many people are saying. I've heard many people say that.
Yeah, I've heard many Trumpers say
Yeah,
that.
they want a dictator. So
As long as he's the dictator, right?
he's not lying when he said. Many people are saying, I think I like a dictator, but those people are they have no place in.
Well, remember when Bush 2 said it?
What?
Bush 2 also said it. They asked Bush 2 about being a dictator, and he goes, something like I don't mind there being a dictator as long as I'm the dictator.
Wow, I don't remember him saying that.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
I would have thought that would be common knowledge, but that's something the presidents are not supposed to say, saying the quiet part out loud. But there we are. He definitely now. I think we're still dealing. He's still dealing with court stuff and the Supreme Court getting in the way of him being a dictator to some degree. But we're almost there. We're 90% of the way to having a dictator at this point.
Okay, here's the exact quote. Damn it!
Did it start that way?
Okay.
He started by going.
No, I clicked on it so I could see the rest of the saying, and then the whole screen changed and all the ads popped in and I couldn't find this. Okay.
Oh, that would make me go, too.
Yeah. Here's it go. Okay. Damn it. I don't want to join Amazon. Fuck you. Okay. Quote, if this were a dictatorship, it would be a heck of a lot easier as long as I'm the dictator. Yeah.
He's a spineless fuck too. He could have spoke up. Not that he wouldn't have that much influence over the Republican Party anymore, but he could have spoke up last year and just denounced this fucking shit where we're going. Because he's not the dictator, and the dictator actually hates him and hates the Bush family. You would think that Dopey might have spoken up at some point, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Of course, he let us down again. You can count the ways that George W. Bush has just continually let us down. There you go. The reason my computers are acting up. I'm overworking them. I'm like a slave driver, making them work. I was up working on a new video last night. I kind of finished the video, but I haven't put the titles on it.
I'm sorry. I can't believe that. What you finally decided to make a video?
Yeah.
Damn. I'm glad that you finally decided to do
a new song called "Covering Up the Crimes." It's a Trump Epstein thing. Now it needs titles, fancy titles, jumping for the kids. The kid. It's like the Hudsucker Proxy. For the kids.
Yeah.
It needs those titles because it's heavily rap influenced, and if you don't have a really good ear for the lyrics, you'd be like, "What the heck are they saying? It's going by so fast." So I got to add those today. But working on this thing, I'm really surprised with the way that I can almost lip sync fucking stock footage of fucking rappers I don't even know they're being used in these fucking videos to lyrics that I wrote and produced. And it makes it look like they're actually singing it. And if I didn't know any better, I would look at it and say, well, even with the Winds of Change thing, there are points where it looks like that guy's actually singing the song.
Yeah, I noticed that. Because whenever I see that kind of stock footage, I look at the mouths. And that's because I see so much AI stuff where they have like a person and a voice. Yeah. And that's when it tells that it's like AI.
Yeah. So I like the way the song came out. But the video is laid out. I just have to put the titles in. I wanted to play it today, but then again, 2:00 in the morning, I run out of gas. I'm just, I'll do the titles tomorrow. So I'll do it today at some point, and we'll have a premiere. And all these songs are really just under 3 minutes. They could just be shorts. I could just do them in the vertical format and put them on shorts, and they'd get a lot more clicks than if I did them in I've been doing them in landscape just because there's more area, more. What's the word?
Would it be difficult for you to do it in both? I mean, it's
Well,
just like a
yeah,
click and click, right?
I'm gonna go back and just re-edit it, the Winds of Change thing to do it in vertical because it's just under 3 minutes, and YouTube will see it as a short. But then I have to do a minute and 30-second one for TikTok and Instagram. It's a lot,
I
but
think TikTok will let you do longer shorts also.
oh yeah.
I think they do now. I still do 90 seconds because I don't keep track of which platforms have expanded and which ones haven't, and I don't feel like finding out the hard way.
Yeah, they gotta fucking standardize this shit, right? Like one rule.
Just like they did with nuts and bolts and not phone cords, computer cables. You know,
Oh, I haven't checked the chat room. We're not getting any kickbots, are we? Oh, we got one kickbot. I'm just wondering how much longer Kick's going to be around, and what to do when it goes down. Like we're not getting any traffic over there. I mean, people keep saying,
yeah, but where would we find out where we could get viewers if we didn't have Kick to tell us?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And people keep making us feel bad by saying you got 0 streams. Like, stop. It's bad enough that we have 7 streams over there. Saying 0 even hurts. It just compounds the hurt.
I just I think we were off the air when you read me something that you'd written to somebody else.
Yeah.
I haven't heard back. I checked all my emails. Nothing.
I'm gonna let that go. I will listen to his next podcast and see if he mentions it at all. I have a feeling he is gonna say something about it, but I don't care. I mean, I said what I said. I had to get that off my chest, so I don't carry that around. But I don't think a lot of people realize, on a personal level, and I get personal about people like Joe Rogan. I will criticize him personally because I don't think he's a good person. People talk about what a great guy he is. I don't think he is. But in terms of my friend, when somebody says something in public about them, I take that personally. This is my friend. You're putting them down. You can criticize their music, criticize their comedy, criticize anything they do, whatever, artistically. But when you start calling them a shitty person or whatever you're going to call them, that you don't know them. And if I wouldn't be friends with somebody who is a shitty person or worse.
That's true. That is documented. We've seen that in real time. Wait, I'm sorry. My brother, you're a Nazi. What brother?
Well, yeah, but that's not friends, and I let them go when I find out they're not. And this is what. If I'm grateful to Donald Trump for anything, and this is sincere, he has illuminated the friendships that I should not have had, and that I should have known about earlier. There were people I knew. We grew up in a very racist and very bigoted part of the country and a part of the world and part of New York. And so I knew there were people who still harbored judging people by the color of their skin or their religion or whatever and holding that against them. But I thought we were evolving or growing and educating and becoming different people as we got older. And just to find out, no, you got a lot of friends and family that are fucking hardcore Nazis and not giving up. Are not willing to be educated, and I'm not going to use the word woke or awakened, but just understanding people are people, and stop holding on to your fucking antiquated, stupid superstitions and prejudices about people just because you're afraid of them or whatever. It's a hate on people. So thank you to Donald Trump for at least grabbing those people out of the woodwork and taking their hoods off and showing their faces.
Yeah.
He has done that. I mean, if anything, how history will remember Trump. He's the guy who went around pulling hoods off a KKK and saying, "This is it's my brother." Holy shit! I did not know that was my brother.
I am hoping that pretty soon, if the Democrats, or even if it's not the Democrats, if there's a group that is willing to do justice, get the country back and put us on the right track, that when that happens, all of these people that took off their hoods and revealed themselves as being sycophants and Trumpites and all these other shit, that they get their comeuppance, either financially losing shit or prosecuted for the bad stuff they've done. I sincerely want that. Yesterday someone asked me if I had one wish, what would it be for? And I think that's it now. Yesterday I had a different wish, but today I would change my wish now.
I'm sort of in the same. I just wish to be verified that justice really exists. Justice for the powerful, the rich and powerful. Like justice is a really fair thing because, especially with Trump, I've seen him slip through the fucking justice system so many fucking times and just get away with it. You start to doubt. Well, is there? You can point to a couple of people, Bernie Madoff, who got what was coming to him, and Imelda Marcos, rich and powerful, got what was coming to her. But for the most part,
or even people who didn't deserve what they got. I mean, they did bad, but and I'm thinking specifically of, damn it, the woman, the woman who was like the
Martha
craft. Yes, Martha Stewart. I mean, I'm not that she didn't do bad, but she was doing the same thing that a lot of the guys was doing, and she gets punished and the guys don't.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't have a lot of faith in justice or belief in fairness. Just the people, the bad, and I think I brought this up yesterday. It feels like the message that I'm supposed to be learning here is the good guys don't always win. Sometimes the bad guys get away with it, and that's because I grew up believing in the fantasy. Like Hitler got his, and Napoleon got his, and Nero got his, and that doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes
there was a time that if there was a children's cartoon or a show that children was going to see and the bad guys could win, those shows got taken off the air because they didn't want children to get the idea that the bad guys could win. Even though we know in reality they could win, they didn't want children to grow up with that idea. So shows that depicted that were taken off the air, or rewritten so that the bad guys got punished.
Yeah. I'm gonna. What?
I just want to show you something, Matt.
I'm scared now. I'm scared. You see me getting scared? I'm scared.
Yeah.
This is my scared face. See that?
And this is I'm gonna show you something, and then you need to guess what had to happen. Okay, the consequences. You ready?
All right, this is a game show, folks. Oh,
this was my drum stool. The one I was sitting on.
Yeah.
So now the question is, what am I sitting on?
I don't know. I can't imagine. Did you have like a really powerful fart or something? A nuclear powered fart?
No. I'm still sitting on the drum thing. I just took this off. I took this off because this was getting really uncomfortable. So I'm just sitting on the pole now.
Oh, John Ferrantino, that was one of his gags. You don't even know who John Ferrantino is, and I don't blame you.
What?
John Ferrantino was a magician / comedian. He was a guy who did magic and comedy in comedy clubs. I don't know if he still does. I think he's retired now. He's one of the big bad. Remember the big bad broadcaster? One thing you looked up that had me. They would call me a fucking. Matt Nappo is Matt Nappo a fucking idiot or something like that? And big bad broadcast came up. John had this stool. And basically, when he put it on, I forget what it was, but the pipe came up as people were going to sit on it. It would go down, and the pipe would come up and go up their ass. Yeah, that's not a comfortable way to sit. But I would just say the cover came off of that somehow, right? That's what it looked like.
The cover, yeah. And in the very beginning, when the cover came off, I could have rejoined the edges if I wanted to and put tape around it. But it's just so far gone. It is so far gone.
You know what? I have a drum. Now that the kids are gone, I'm thinking of
downsizing.
Well, no, I was setting up the drum set and all this stuff because there's room. There's all of a sudden there's room in my home, which there never was when we had the kids and the grandson here. It's so now there's like room enough to set stuff up. Which is
okay.
Oh, this
Yeah,
is
but how long is that going to last? Because as soon as you get it up, your wife's going to bring home a homeless person. I'm just kidding.
no. I think my wife has had a change of heart with that. All right, shut up, John. I pulled. I went to Google John Ferrantino's stool gag, and then I saw a link there, and I clicked on it. It's me interviewing John. No, I'm not the stool gag.
No, you're the stool sample.
Yeah, I am the stool sample. But I think my wife is, because I mentioned to her about the woman the other day with the kids in the Stop and Shop with the sign. The kids were hungry, and she said, a lot of them are scammers. I don't, but this is not the old her. The old her would have been, we need to take them in. I think she's been watching so much Fox News and stuff that she's finally becoming jaded towards humanity, and not a cool thing.
Well, a few years ago, there was a rash of scammers like that in Baltimore, in the Baltimore area, and they had one of their news people go undercover as a homeless person to see if he could pull off the scam. And the lady who was helping him was actually another homeless person, and she was saying, "No, your teeth are too clean. You can't do it yet." She was trying to hobo him up, but he did. He made a good chunk of change, even though he was not very good at it yet.
Wow. But that's a tough thing. I mean, the kids have to be good actors because she's taking kids.
Right. You don't want to drag the kids into it. The kids
kids crying and hungry. And when I gave the kids the chicken dinner, it was like they hadn't eaten in like 3 weeks or something. They were devouring this thing like a dog who hadn't eaten in a month, and you all put out a bowl of food, and all of a sudden it's just a tray or something.
Now you just showed the generational divide, because you gave those kids food and you let them eat it. A younger person would have given them the food, pulled out the camera, made a TikTok short, and the music would have been going while they're eating. They're just they made a TikTok short out of it with some kind of funny music.
Yeah, everything's got to be on Instagram or something, right?
Right. They would have made a short out of it, and you let the kids eat in peace.
Well, listen, it would have been a challenge, even if I had a camera, to even hit the click button by the time. That's how fast they ate it. I mean, listen, when I was young, I used to eat really fast too. But it's like, why do you even have teeth? I mean, you're just shoving it down the hole. It was gone. I mean, full fried chicken dinner, which they sell it, it's already hot and everything, with mashed potatoes, and they give you the whole dinner, but it's a whole chicken and 2 kids. It was gone by the time. If I could have reached in my pocket to get a camera and do this, it would have been gone. That's how fast we eat. A new generation with iPads. Yeah. So.
Well, I know. I remember when my mother was younger. But my father died when she was 35, and she was trying to get back into dating form. She used to put iPads over her eyes to try to get rid of some of the swelling to make herself look younger, and that was they'd be like little chilled iPads that she used to put over her eyes. So that's a generational thing as well. Yeah. I mean, my mother had iPads, but they were a little bit different than the iPads they have now.
Pads of eyes and pads. I'm gonna not look for this John Ferrantino stump. It's kind of a gag you could buy at the magic shop. It's just the pole comes up through the thing. I know. I remember what it was. He was sitting on the drum stool, and then when he got up, it revealed that the pole was still there, like he had it up his ass the whole time or something. That's not really important. I'm gonna put, and I was gonna play news, but instead of the news, I'm gonna play this song called "Covering Up the Crimes." If I can, just you know what, I have to talk for a minute while I do this.
Okay. Good morning, children. Yesterday I had the opportunity to be interviewed by John Kenneth from 365 Live and WEBE Radio. out of Pevitaville, I think Kentucky, Connecticut. And it was pretty fun, pretty good interview. And I encourage people to check out his show on 365 Live on Tuesday evenings and Sunday.
Live 365, not 365 Live.
That's what I said, Live 365.
Yeah. I think you said 365 Live, but it doesn't matter.
It just sounds like I need to fix my screen. It's on reverse. I need to mirror it. That's what happened.
We should have been. We were on there. I was on there for like 3 years. They were just charging a lot of money for the same thing. The same radio, because we're on TuneCore and iHeartRadio, and that's where people are finding us. They weren't doing anything to help us get found, and they were charging like, I think it was $150 a month for what I'm paying $3.40 a month for now.
Wow.
For the radio feed. So this is called covering up the crimes.
Yo, let's talk about the shadows. Yo, let's talk about the shadows. Yeah. Yo, let's talk about the shadows where the dirty money flows. Trump and Epstein, yeah, they play with all the lows. That's buds in the game, they're tangled in the grime. Power, lust, and greed, man, that's their prime time. Flipping checks like they toys, while the world's in despair. Behind closed doors, they scheme, thinking nobody cares. Ain't no surprise. We see the truth in their eyes, but we calling out the lies. Can't let them rise. Covering up the crimes like it's just another day. People confident in the shadows looking for a payday. Paying Bonnie Cash Patel and the crew that's a no-show. Playing chess in a game where the pawns never grow. Covering up the crimes like it's just another day. People confident in the shadows looking for a payday. Paying Bonnie Cash Patel and the crew that's a no-show. Playing chess in a game where the pawns never grow. I'm talking about connections that run deeper than the sea. Dan Bongino and Kara live, living wild and free. But how you sleep at night, knowing what you do, they turn a blind eye. It's like they part of the crew. See, while the rich get richer, the streets start to burn. Illuminati whispers, but it's our turn to learn. We ain't gonna sit back, watch them dance in the dark. Expose every secret, ignite that spark. Covering up the crimes like it's just another day. People come sit in the shadows looking for a payday. Playing Bonnie Cash Patel and the crew that's a no-show. Playing chess in a game where the pawns never grow. Covering up the crime like it's just another day. People come sit in the shadows looking for a payday. Playing Bonnie Cash Patel and the crew that's a no-show. Playing chess in a game where the pawns never grow. We the people rising up, can't get quiet no more. Digging through the layers, finding dirt on the floor. Truth's a powerful weapon, yeah, it cuts like a knife. Unraveling the mess where they think they own life. Now we got the voices united in this fight. Let the truth shine bright, bring the darkness to light. No more playing nice, we're throwing down the gauntlet. Expose the corrupt, make them feel the strain. They built the towers high, thought we wouldn't see. But we got the vision, man. We breaking free from the ashes we rise. But the truth is our God, and together we'll stand. Let justice collide, covering up the crime like it's just another day. People come sit in the shadows looking for a payday. Playing Bonnie Cash Patel and the crew that's a no-show. Playing chess in the game where the pawns never grow. Covering up the crime like it's just another day. People come sit in the shadows looking for a payday. Playing Bonnie Cash Patel and the crew that's a no-show. Playing chess in the game where the pawns never grow. So we keep pushing, keep speaking our minds, tearing down the walls that they built with their lies. Trump and Epstein, Trump and Epstein.
So the only part that I didn't really create is the chant at the end. Oh, and that's the best part of the whole fucking thing. I wish they would have came up with that sooner in the mix, because I think that's the thing that people, that's the hook to me, is that very last where they're doing like a chant thing at the end of it. Better than, and I was happy to find it there, but it's just like, why didn't you do that right after the first verse?
I have a question for you. Are they saying Jesse and the James?
Jesse what?
Because I think it is. I thought there was a Jesse James reference, but instead of saying Jesse James, I thought you said Jesse and the James, like you broke it up into two different names. That's what it sounds like to me. I was just curious. Sunshine says, love it.
Who in the gang? Cool in the Gang. No. Um, let me read the whole thing because you know what, I write these things and I don't. It said, "Let's talk about the shadows where the dirty money flows." Trump and Epstein, yeah, they play with all the lows. Best buds in the game. They're tangled in the grime. Power, lust, and greed. Man, that's their prime time. Flipping checks like they're toys. The world's in despair. Behind closed doors, they scheme, thinking nobody cares. Ain't no surprise. We see the truth in their eyes. But we're calling out the lies, can't let them rise. Covering up the crimes, it's just another day. People complicit in the shadows, looking for a payday. Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, and the crew, that's a no-show. Playing chess in a game where their pawns never grow. I'm talking about connections that run deeper than the sea. Dan Bongino and Caroline living wild and free. But how do you sleep at night knowing what you do? They turn a blind eye like a part of the crew. See, when the rich get richer, the streets start to burn. Illuminati whispers, but it's our turn to learn. We ain't gonna sit back and watch them dance in the dark, expose every secret, ignite that spark, covering up the crimes. It's just another day. People complicit in the shadows, looking for a payday. Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, and the crew. That's a no-show. I had to put the no-show in there. Playing chess in a game where the pawns never grow, because I don't like no-shows. We the people rising up, can't keep quiet no more. Digging through the layers, finding dirt on the floor through the powerful weapon. Yeah, it cuts like a knife. Unraveling the mess where they take their own. They think they own where they think they own life. Whew. Never got the voices united in the fight. Let the truth shine bright. Bring the darkness into light. No more playing nice. We're just throwing down a gauntlet, exposing the corrupt, making them feel a strain. Um, and then they built the towers high. Thought we wouldn't see, but we got vision, man. We breaking free. From the ashes we rise. The truth is our guide. Together we stand. Let justice collide. And then it's the chorus, covering up the crimes. Let just another day. People complicit in the shadows, looking for a payday. Pam Bondi, Cash Patel. The crew is no show, playing chess in a game where the pawns never grow. So we keep pushing, keep speaking our minds, tearing down the walls, and built the lies. Trump and Epstein. And that was
okay, so now I know what it is. It's chess in the games. And I thought you're saying Jesse and the James.
Chess in the game, yeah.
And I thought to myself, why? Because if I remember correctly, you had like a fondness for Jesse James.
Well, not so much. Billy the Kid is my thing.
Billy the Kid. Okay,
I definitely study Jesse James. Jesse James is a fascinating character to me. He was definitely a anti-abolitionist. In other words, he was pro-slave. And as a 16-year-old kid, he felt it important enough to join the Civil War and go ride with marauders. What was Bill Dalton?
Bill Hicks, Bill Burr.
I can't remember the
Bill Nye.
Anyway, he was part of an outlaw group, and then they were really terrorists. In the Civil War, basically, they were robbing trains and banks as a vigilante type of thing during the Civil War. So, our guest is here.
Yeah. I thought you said. Now, I have done this in the past where I thought somebody said something in the song, and then I learned the actual lyrics, and I go, "Oh, well, I like what I said," and so I'll use it. So I'll work that into a song because of my misunderstanding.
You know what? There's a big, when I was doing the Old West stuff, there was big fascination with these characters. Jesse James, Billy the Kid, of course. I think it's probably the most popular one. But there's so many of them. People love that stuff. Kyle Yankowski said, "Good morning, Kyle. How are you?" Great to have you, Kyle, from the
from the
I Hate Cheese, Lower Standards podcast.
Oh, I was thinking I Hate Cheese Productions.
I Hate Cheese Productions at YouTube. You ready for me to botch this intro? Well, just
do I need to have the media asset ready? Oh no, that's not the foreign names. Never mind.
Yeah. No, he's got a sort of an American name, I guess. I don't know, but I still don't know how to pronounce it. This reminds me of Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken was cast with announcing the Foo Fighters on Saturday Night Live. and he went to Dave Grohl and said, "Yeah, but where's the accent?" And said, and then he comes back on and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, Foo Fighters." Foo Fighters. No, it's the Foo Fighters. But yeah, so where's the accent in his
Maybe
last
it's
name?
Magun like Raygun. Actually, I think it's Magun myself. But...
Eric, Foo Fighter. Eric Magun, or Magun, is an award-winning author and filmmaker, has earned numerous awards for his independent feature film Toast with the Gods, a surreal reimagining of Homer's Odyssey. In addition to filmmaking success, he is the author of several screenplays, short stories, and a collection of poetry. With decades of experience in an international business executive, Eric spent much of his time and career in China and in Southeast Asia. When in the U.S., he divides his time between living on both coasts. Thank God for the Sinners marks his debut novel in fiction and is currently the winner of the New York Book Festival for 2025 in horror. But I think it's a thriller, not a horror. Anyway, good morning, Eric. How are you?
Good morning, everybody.
Thank you for being here. Now, is it Foo Fighters or Magun?
It's Magan. It's Magan, but most people they get that mixed up. Original ancestors came over from Israel, where the last name was Magan David, which is the Star of David. So they changed that Magan to Magan, and here we are today.
So let me get this straight now. You are a successful filmmaker and a punk rock musician, and you just decided, I'm not poor enough. I think I would like to be an author.
I love the life of a struggling author, so why not stay in my comfort zone?
Yeah, and also, talk about the Rodney Dangerfield Award. Authors, we have so many authors on the program, and the lack of respect for what they do and how much work it takes. It's just, it's painful.
It's brutal. I mean, who was it that said, authors, all they do is sit around and bleed on their keyboards?
Right. I was slow because I had some computer problems this morning, but I'll get it up pretty quick. I'll get it up for you.
And in California says, "Good morning, Eric."
Oh,
yes, it is good morning.
And has to individually say good morning to everybody. That's fine. I'm good with that. So tell me now, is it a thriller? Because it says horror. I was under the impression it's a thriller, which is different.
It's a thriller. That particular book festival did not have a category of thriller. They had horror and they had science fiction. And actually, I won in horror/science fiction, and it has really nothing to do with science fiction. My book, and only thing horrific about it was maybe some of the characters and some of the situations, but it really is a psychological thriller.
Okay. Now, is it somewhat based on your life as a punk rock musician?
Yeah, I'm not a punk rock musician, but an avid punk rocker. Grew up in the early 80s in New York City, downtown New York. So we had CBGBs and Max's and all these incredible clubs. So I kind of grew up with this sort of family of punk rockers that saw themselves once or twice a week and had a little family kind of relationship with everybody there. The book is definitely it's tremendously influenced by punk. It might be the first punk rock sort of psych thriller. It's almost like a punk opera, like how Tommy's Who was. But the character itself, like myself, definitely grew up as a punk. Took that into sort of his adult ages, his love of music, his love of rage, his love of anarchy, and actually became a clandestine double agent as he's doing an international business gig over in China. Things go wrong. A prostitute dies in his hotel room. He loses his mind, goes insane as he tries to protect his innocence to save his own life. So there's a lot of underlying themes to the story, but the majority is that musical influence is big in this book. As a matter of fact, Matt, every chapter of the book is an ode to a punk rock anthology. So all the incredible punk rock songs that I grew up with in the 70s, 80s, and into the 90s, each chapter is named and dedicated to that punk rock song. And then at the end of the 46 chapters, I put all those songs into a Spotify playlist. So now you have like I have a soundtrack to the book.
You know what? I don't know. I think I was under the impression that you were a recording punk rock artist because I think Michelle, the publicist who hooked us up,
Yeah.
I think she said that to me, and I saw the playlist, and I was thinking that you had written all those songs, and I was like, I put it on my to-do list for later this evening. Like, I got to listen to this, and now I know that it's like Ramones and Sex Pistols and whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But it's all, it all has to do with the the themes all have to do with the chapters. So it's not like here's a chapter and then here's a Sex Pistol song thrown on top of it just to have one.
All right,
so it's all relatable.
That Punk wants to talk to you. Go ahead, Punk.
Yeah, I was just, out of curiosity, back in the 80s, exactly how punk were you? Because there were various degrees of punks. You know what I'm saying? I used to listen to punk, and I played in a punk band, but I had no piercings. There was nothing about me that was punk other than the fact that I could dress like one. Except for I would like strategically rip my clothes as opposed to,
Yeah, no, I'd like to say, grew up, early 80s, late 70s, liking, the Iggy Pop and the Sex Pistols and all the sort of classics. But then when I got into the 80s in the city, I really got into what we call the New York hardcore movement, which is a bunch of bands around New York that played all the time and kind of have a little community. So, I mean, I was everything. I was punk. I mean, I had a mohawk in high school, then I shaved it off and was a bit of a skinhead, a straight edge skinhead for a while. But those were my people, and so that was my music. And you know what? Growing up in Long Island, I grew up in a kind of an white affluent suburban Long Island neighborhood, and I was just not right for that neighborhood.
You want to name it or not? You don't have to, but I mean,
I can. No, I grew up in Belmore, so Belmore, Merrick, on the South Shore. Yeah, so we had it kind of easy back then when you look at the way that things normally were for the rest of the world, and I just wasn't comfortable with that easiness.
The brokerage.
So, yes, the brokerage, the comedy club.
Yes, it's one of the things that we talk about a lot because that's now Governors. It's not just a brokerage. It's
right,
and we're on Governors Network. We are the morning show on the Governor.
So loved it there. Whenever I was a chance to sneak in.
Sunshine has a question that I would probably wanted to say for later, but since she asked it now or wants to know now, she says, "What is harder to write, a book, or the novel, or a screenplay?"
That's an interesting question, and I got to tell you, right now I'm in the process of writing this novel into a screenplay. We got several people that are looking into this to buy it on Netflix and get it streaming on some of the services there. So my next bit of work is writing this screenplay to the book, and I'm finding it tremendously difficult. And I've written screenplays before, but with a novel, why a novel is ultimately maybe 2/3 longer or larger than a screenplay is, at least in a novel, you get to, write all your characters' feelings and their thoughts, and there's a lot of great dialogue, and you can set the stage in a lot of different ways for the reader, bringing the reader on board with you, getting very descriptive. And in a screenplay, it's very much about chopping that down, worrying about how one scene's going to play into the other. Is it an extreme close-up? You got camera angles to look at. You're kind of looking at it through the lens of a camera in the direction of a movie, rather than just letting your thoughts just flow out there onto paper. So I find the screenplay version a bit more challenging to sort of the creative efforts. It's a little bit more manufactured, where maybe a novel is completely creative.
It would seem to me that most movies that are adapted from novels to become screenplays are longer. It's just because that challenge of knowing where do we cut stuff out becomes an editor's nightmare. Like, there's so much good stuff here. What do we leave on the floor? But I have noticed that most films that start out as novels tend to be longer running movies.
Yeah, they do. And then you always get that situation where people are like, oh, the movie isn't as good as the book, because the book's got so much more in it.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask you about because you talked about the spirit of anarchy. And I am a boomer and grew up in the 60s and 70s and had some punk rock influence. All of my friends who were hippies or punkers have become conservative. And it's very strange. I mean, it's hard enough to go from hippie to conservative. But to go from anarchist, raw down, let's tear down the rules of society, to conservative, it's just such a leap. I don't know how do you maintain your kind of punk rock spirit as we move along and we get older, and people, the tendency is to become more conservative as we get old. Can you?
It's an interesting phenomenon, right, Matt? I mean, it's like how did you become so rebellious, and now now you're in MAGA?
Yeah.
It's I don't know how people make that leap, except that I don't know. I guess the pendulum always swings back to the other way. I mean, I think I think and so people start off on one side, and then they get older, and more things become important to them when they get older that are different than when they were younger. And I think people look when they get older into stability. You got real world problems back those days, where when you're younger you have less to worry about. You don't have families, you don't have mortgages, you got a lot of time on your hands to protest. And then I think you get older, and it's like I don't know if I want that in my life right now.
So now, artistically, I can't imagine a pendulum coming back and being anything more extreme. I'm sure you remember Wendy Williams and Plasmatics. I mean,
of course,
chainsawing televisions on Tom Snyder and stuff like that. I can't imagine anything more extreme and in your face than that. But if you talk about a pendulum swinging back from where we are now, where that would be in terms of outrageous art. I can't imagine, and maybe it's because I'm so fucking old that I can't. My imagination is dead. But can you picture where, if that pendulum does in fact swing back, what it might look like?
I don't know, except whatever's going on in the country today looks like the exact opposite than what I grew up in.
Yes, me too.
And we might be witnessing it right now.
Oh yeah. I think maybe art will be dead. I mean, that's what I feel like. It's like there is no artistic sensibility. It's been drowned out of it. And humanity and the humanities, I think, are intrinsically linked. And if you're gonna lose all humanity, like I was discussing yesterday, they are celebrating destroying homeless camps. Like, you are, think about how cruel this is. No matter what you think about the homeless problem or what solutions might be, these are people who lost everything. They don't really want to be on the street, despite the conservative mindset. Like, they're just doing this to inconvenience me. But you've taken people who've lost everything, taking the last thread they had, and then doing a victory dance while they're fucking suffering. I mean, their humanity is gone.
It's gone, and there's just no empathy anymore for anybody or anything. And a lot of those people are sick, and they're mentally ill, and they need help. They don't need to be displaced even further. It is pretty disgusting.
So now, who's the protagonist? And I can't read the tagline. The protagonist of your book, his name is
Rick Price.
Rick Price. Who plays him? If it were a modern Hollywood-made movie, who plays him?
Okay, Eric, you don't have to tell him it to me. It would upset him when you tell him it to me, because he thought it would be someone else, but it would be me, Matt. Eric and I've been talking about this for about a week now.
Eric grew up in Belmore. They don't like black people there.
We did like them, we just didn't have any. We had no reference.
Well, that's why you like them, because like we really don't know what they are. They're kind of like unicorns.
Yeah,
who doesn't like unicorns?
I apologize to everybody from Belmore. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, well, there's North South Belmore and South Belmore, and I was in the South Belmore, the privileged part. The North part, we could have seen things a little bit differently. It's that old epitome, crossing the railroad tracks into the north. But it's interesting, because that question comes up, and it makes me laugh, because in my book, the character Rick Price, he starts off in normal day times, but I do so much diving back into his history. There's so many flashbacks. I mean, you get him here. He's at this incredibly crazy scene. You don't know why he's there, how that happened, and then we sort of flashback through his life. So when you get to the end of the book, you kind of understand exactly why he is who he is, and understand why he's in the situation he's in. So there's so many different Rick Price characters in the book, starting from literally from his birth to grade school, everything. So there'll be a lot of Ricks in there, but I think for the main character Rick, I would love to see somebody like a Jeremy Allen White play that. Yeah, I think he would be awesome. Perfect age group and a great actor.
Thank God for the Sinners is an interesting title, especially I've been highlighting a song that I wrote years ago that I played a guy to death with. It was called Sweet Forgiveness, and it's about the idea that, I pray that God forgives me for the times I don't believe, because I think of myself as a constant sinner. I think of all of us are sinners, but basically it's saying, this all-forgiving God, he's got a lot to forgive in me, and I hope if he does exist, I hope he'll forgive me for saying if he does exist, because that's not what is the significance of the title, because it seems to be very much in line with that, except it also seems to suggest that only some of us are sinners. I think we're all sinners, right? Thank God for
that's the moral to my story, is that we're all sinners, and let's not try to pretend we're anything else, and also let's not shame the fact that we are,
right.
And in this book, Rick Price is the biggest sinner of them all. I mean, he's an extremely troubled man. He's a psychopath, trying to get his life together. He's hiding multiple identities from his family, from his work, from the government. He's trying to keep this all on balance while he's trying to keep his mental illness in check, and he does some wrong things. He makes some wrong decisions.
Okay, you said the biggest sinner of all. You think he's like bigger than Epstein? Because Epstein's pretty big right now.
No. In my book, relative.
Okay. In your universe, okay, I got you. I was because when you say biggest sinner of all, I'm thinking I know of some pretty big ones.
Yeah,
I think I could top Epstein.
Okay,
Dahmer.
You think so?
Dahmer. At least Epstein didn't eat them after he raped them.
Yeah, but with Dahmer, his victims didn't have to go through the emotional roller coaster of trying to recover and get their lives back.
They had to be shit out.
Yeah, but they didn't have to try to put their lives back together. Is what I'm saying.
All right.
Epstein's victims had to put their lives back together.
I concede that point. That's a fair point.
That is. But in this book, he is, and he's not shied away from it. He does keep his sinner's mentality somewhat in check, but you get a feeling of humanism for him, of realism.
Yeah.
He is the main character. He does some amazing things as well, but nothing is too out of the ordinary. If anything, I think people can relate to the fact that in life, we don't just have skeletons in the closet. We have catacombs, and really, this character's got him with a lot of flaws. But he's still my main character.
That brings me to exactly where I wanted to because I talk to a lot of authors who write horror thrillers, psychological thrillers, all these things. And I feel like if I go down this path in my creativity, if I try to do something really dark, I notice it does take an effect on my own personal psyche. And it takes a while for me to kind of normalize my own wherever normal might be in my little corner of the world. But to get into this writing a psychopath, you have to kind of channel what a psychopath is. Is that difficult, painful, challenging? Well, talk to me about that.
Yeah, it's a great question. It's definitely challenging. I mean, first of all, I give the character, like most writers, a lot of qualities that you know about. You know about, you live with them. A lot of them are self-reflected, and then you sort of exaggerate on that to make it a bit more dramatic. And so, you're really digging in deep to try to get those emotions across to the reader. You want to create a character that, has flaws, is a bit tragic, But at the same time, you don't want to go overboard and make it unbelievable. So you
Right.
got to kind of keep it in the realms of believability. So that means you're diving deep, but you're keeping it real. And that's a real difficult thing to do, because then it stays to a dark realism rather than like a fantasy,
Yeah, I would seem
version.
it seems probably. I understand exactly what you're saying. Uh, you don't want to violate the suspension of belief that people need to get into a story. But I think today's world has gotten to a point where we see things in reality in the news every day that make us think, well, if this were fiction, nobody would believe it. So that line of where you can violate the
Yeah.
suspension of belief,
It moves.
whoa. I mean, there's nothing. But what about in terms of when you finish the book? Any like psychic cleansing you need to have, or did you feel like, wow, I'm in a very dark place. I need a vacation from the darkness.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, nothing that a good bottle of tequila can't cure, to tell you the
Oh,
truth.
tequila. Yeah, all right, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the business of publishing? Is that driving you crazy? Is that because I talk to so many authors, and the publishing game, whether you're self-published or you're with a traditional publishing house, it is very rigged. It's a very corrupt, dirty system. In order to even get your book noticed by people, you gotta
Yeah.
kind of have to break a lot of rules and stuff, and sometimes violate your own personal principles. Are you feeling like dirty by getting into the publishing business?
Yeah. I'm feeling dirty before I get into the publishing business.
Wow.
But in any event, no, I got lucky on this book. Real lucky. I managed to come across the desk of a pretty well known agent over here in the West Coast, who took an immediate shine to the book, thought the character was incredibly original, thought the storyline was something that was never told before. And he got behind it right away. And he actually introduced me to the publisher, helped me get the book published. So I didn't go through that same sort of rigor that most starting. I was totally prepared to self-publish myself. I had a small publishing house in the UK that was interested, but I was prepared to go into those dirty depths of publishing hell to get the book out there, and instead I got pretty lucky based on, I think, the merit of the book itself. But
Yeah.
in any event, my publisher, even though they're fantastic, they published the book. The book was great. It's just, everything else then sort of stops. Because I'm at the stage now, Matt, where you write the book, you finish the book, you come through that big release of getting it done. I got it published, and now it's like, now what the hell am I doing?
Right. Yeah, and when I said it's corrupt and dirty, that part is not the part I was referring to. It's this part. It's the marketing part. Listen, I used to work for a company that was their whole thing was marketing books for people, and because there are very few brick and mortar stores now, it's all done online, or the majority of done online. You can rig that to become a #1 bestseller and get your book like pushed by these certain outlets and shown and put in people's faces. It's all about knowing the algorithm and sometimes working the algorithm for your purposes, and that gets dirty.
It
Whether
is.
you publish or a traditional publishing house, then that's just getting it published. The dirty part comes right now. It's like, how do we get
right now.
how do we get it in front of people? And you're dealing with some very corrupt people who will jimmy the system to work for them and hide your book to get their book in front of people who should be reading your book.
Yeah, I got a good friend of mine who's a best-selling author. Book was a book, but how did he do it? And he said to me, well, it's a circuit. It's like you said, man. There's an algorithm there. You buy an X amount of books, and they turn my book into this sort of theme, and they promote it as this theme, and they buy an X amount of books at like a certain time in the middle of the night or early in the morning, and then I become if I did that for 1 hour, I become a best-selling author. It's like.
Kind of reminds me of my friend Carl. The first time I talked to him was on air, and I was interviewing him, and I was mentioning my struggles 40 years ago, 35 years ago, getting into stand-up comedy, and he stopped me and he said, "Well, here's the trick: you have to learn to appreciate the taste of a good cock." And that's what it feels like in publishing. It's like you really have to. Unfortunately, because we are dealing with so many new releases every day,
Yeah.
you gotta have to get in the mud with people and figure out, how do I get my book in front of people?
You do, and then they have this other extreme, which is like you got the book done, and now there's everybody's you got to push for PR, right? You need PR. You need to get your name out there. You need to get on all the social media. You gotta do whatever you can to sort of now promote yourself, which is entirely something that's maybe not comfortable for every author.
Yeah.
So, and then you have to spend money again
Yeah.
on this to get the book out there. And this isn't money you budgeted for when you write your book. You're writing your book, you're a hungry author, you think you can just put it out there and then you're on to book number 2. But now this is turns into a money game, and then it's like, and then who would you hire with that money game? If you had a small X amount of money that you can raise or you had it left over, then you got to put it into the hands of PR, communication agencies, and you don't know what they're doing and how they're spending that money.
One of the things, and this is a technique that I'm not really giving away all the, the bolts and wing nuts to this mechanism, but I think it's important for people to know, and I talk about it quite often when we have authors on, is in working for a marketing company that was just marketing authors. What they do is they build a list. They have a mailing list of dedicated people, or even before you publish the book online. And what they do is they put it out and they set a date for a free release, that it's a free audio book. And basically they put it behind the scenes and pick a category that it's not even in, so it's not a competitive category, like just say home and garden,
home improvement.
Yeah, something like that. And so basically they give this book away for free to a closed audience. They email them and say, please download the book and leave a positive review. So by the time they're ready to put a price on it and put it in the regular category, the Amazons and the Barnes and Noble online and all these things already see there's a traction, and the algorithm says, oh, this is an important book, let's push it up, and it becomes a bestseller on the day they actually launch the book. And that's
it's amazing. I had my publisher who said to me, look, Eric, you want to spend money on a PR company, you want to spend money on a good one, you want to spend whatever little money you have left. He goes, I got a better idea. Just take all that money and buy as many books as you can on Amazon. That would be the best thing you could do.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you know the demographic? First of all, the book, when did it come out?
It came out only about maybe 2.5 months ago.
So is that enough time for you to get data on who's really the most interesting demographic for this?
Yeah, it's strange because I thought it would be mostly male, and it is, but it's by a very small percentage, and it's about between 30 and 65 years old. So it's definitely up on the upper demographics, but that's exactly what I was really going for males that were between 40 and 65, that would understand people like ourselves that are on here. We grew up in the 70s, the 80s. We understood the music, the movements, and how that can ultimately shape a person's, career choice and how they make decisions in life.
Wow. That's a whole other ball of wax that it really been interesting in lately. And just to divert away, we're talking about Thank God for the Sinners by Eric McGunn. It's available, and there's a link in the description.
You got to buy the book.
Yeah, you got to buy the book. And also, if you go to your website, you have listing. I didn't even know Apple was in the business of books. You got all the books listed there, which is great. Yeah. Good for you. But recently I was watching Mark Maron on Howie Mandel's podcast, and Howie said the line, I think you're giving comedy and pop culture too much credit for its influence on society. And Mark Maron said, are you out of your fucking mind? And it gave me pause for thought. Like and you mentioned growing up in the 70s and all, in those days, pop culture definitely had a voice in influencing people's thoughts about society and all this stuff. Do you think that still holds true? Does music, does literature, does comedy, do films really influence us in the way society moves?
You know, I think it does, but it shifts, it changes, in perspective, throughout the different years that happen. I mean, music today for me and in the genre that I listen to is certainly not the same as it was back then. But now you have, other music genres that are in. You look at, any of the big major mega, pop stars that are out there today, and they're drawing crowds like we've never seen before. They're so involved. I mean, and they have followers, and fan bases that are like armies.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I meant to cut you off. Go ahead, finish your thought, and I'll.
No, I'm just saying it's intense. It's there. It just has shifted, and I think the reach is even larger now because of social media.
So I think the influence. I think whether or not an artist or community has influence depends on whether or not they are, let's say, original and saying something different now. Because what happens is you'll have somebody who's saying something really different. They can make a change. But then there's other people who are just echoing what's already happening out there. They don't really make a change. That's more like an endless loop. People want to hear dick jokes, so I'm going to tell a dick joke. People want to hear pussy jokes, so I'm going to tell a pussy joke. But then you get somebody over here who's like, I want to talk about death and dying, or whatever it is that people aren't talking about. Then that person can make a difference, even though they don't have the audience that this over here does. And then it becomes like, okay, now the audience wants to hear about death and dying, so now we're going to talk about death and dying.
Right.
That's true. I just have, for the audience who knows GD and knows that we talk about how out of touch he is with current trends in stand-up comedy. It's not dick jokes. It's not pussy jokes. It's ass-eating jokes. Everybody does ass eating.
No, I'm sorry. That is not just a bridge too far. I will.
I agree. I'm not. Listen, I'm not on that buffet line. I am definitely not on that buffet line. But that's where everybody's doing now, and it gets really tiring if you go to a comedy club.
But the thing is, I haven't heard.
Where's the ass eating joke?
I'm saying I haven't heard a good one of those. I haven't heard. Well, then okay, I don't go to many open mics. But when I do, the last time I went, I didn't hear many of those at all.
Surprisingly, a number of female comedians will go to the ass-eating jokes pretty quickly.
Well, Matt, I got a question. I mean, I hear you going to comedy clubs. You're a comedian of some sorts. You're certainly funny, you guys, and I'm appreciating that. But even in comedy, I mean, how has that changed from the 70s and the 80s?
One thing,
at this. Yeah,
comedians. There is led by Joe Rogan, but not that he's the one to blame here. But comedy in our day, I'm grandpa now. In my day, there were a lot more anti-establishment voices. There were a lot more left-leaning voices. Now we have a MAGA anti-woke movement in comedy that is astonishingly establishment-based, and they think they're anti-establishment, but they are totally establishment. And it's surprising to me to see that in comedy, that comedy even accepts that, because it was always about punching against the man, and now it's like, we got to serve the man. We got to.
And that's what I was. I think that's what I was trying to say. Is like there's a small segment of comedians that are making statements. They're not afraid to rattle their cages. They're not afraid to punch up and lift up or inspire. They're not afraid of that. And if they don't have the fan base, if they don't have the likes, if they don't have the following, it's okay, because they're doing this to make a statement. Yeah. And then there's the other 85% of the comedians that just want to be famous. They just want to be loved. They just want to be liked. And so they're just going to rehash the shit that's already out there. And so while this comedian is talking about important things, these comedians are starting all their jokes like women be like, cats be like, dogs be like, it's like, okay, we got it. Things be like, so So I think there's still like a small percentage of comedians who are willing to make statements and take chances. And then
I can only think of two: Mark Maron and Anthony Jeselnik. I'm thinking in the top tier of
and I don't even think Anthony Jeselnik is making a difference. I think he's got a big following, but I don't think he's making a political statement. I don't think he's making a political statement. I just think I don't think he's going to make a change. I think he's going to make money. I don't think he's going to make a change. There's a big difference.
Yeah, but he is willing to go against the establishment in the comedy. This whole anti-war, and you know what, the left deserves all the anti-woke stuff that they're getting, because they allowed the right to kind of define what they were about, which is not what they were about. But they allowed their right. Oh, they want men in women's bathrooms. I don't think, and I haven't heard anybody on the left tell me that that's what they want. But
I mean, but comedy and music back then was all about anti-establishment, you know, and pointing out those flaws and making fun of them or screaming about them, you know, you can scream any louder. And today it's switched, like you said, you know, it has completely swapped over, and I think that you're going to find that happening in music as well.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a band, Devo.
Yeah,
and when they started off, they had a point of view and a philosophy. And in their philosophy, they said at some point, we are going to become the thing we hate because of popularity and stuff like that. And eventually,
money.
And money. And they were right. It happened to them too. And when it happened to them, they said, well, we're not surprised. We knew it was going to happen. We had a statement. And now to make money, we had to do this, that, and the other. And now we've become what we've hated. Yeah, and I think that's what happens. Like same with like you have like bands. Let's say like Public Enemy. Okay, I'm not a rap aficionado by any means. I'm not. I know I'm black, and what I know about rap.
You know you're black, because I was going to mention that to you. I didn't know if you knew.
I don't know a lot about black. I don't. Not that black.
You know about you, and I thought I wasn't sure if you knew you were black.
But you have a band like bands like that used to make public comments. And public, commentary on the status. And then the record companies go like, that stuff you wrote about the police being very, overreaching and shit like that and all through your hood and ruining your life. But you know what would really make you money? Talk about bitches and hoes. Okay. That will really make you money. And then you can get your message out there. And then they start writing about bitches and hoes and parties and stuff like that. And then they never or seldom go back to what the messages that they started with, because now they're making the money and they want to keep making the money.
I'm getting a message from the director in my area. Apparently starting next Monday, which is Labor Day, we're changing the name of the podcast from Coffee to Dog to the Bitches and Hoes Morning Show.
Yes, back to the people, back to the streets.
Yeah.
There is
just for the record, which one of us is the bitch and which one of us is the hoe? I need to know how to dress for the next show.
It's like alternate parking.
Okay, because I just need to know how to dress.
Mondays you're the bitch. But we're not on bitch shoot anymore. Well, maybe we'll be back. There is an audiobook on this. Did you read? Did you do it yourself?
No, I wish I did. I would absolutely love to do it. I hope the book sells enough where they get an opportunity to do it. I think that'd be a blast. But no, it's AI, and I can't listen to it at all.
Wow.
Now, how did you get AI? Because there's some letters and words. I'll
that seemed like more work than just hiring a.
I don't know.
I watched a video. Unfortunately, as a TikTok video about World War II. Okay, not World War. Because in the text they probably wrote WW2, and AI said World War II. And I said, what the fuck?
I'm telling you, my publisher did it. I was surprised that he did it. Didn't know, but when I started listening to it, when you're right, you have a voice in your head, right? You always have that monologue going in your head.
Yes.
And then you hear like this computer voice reading it out, and you're like, holy shit, man, what mind warp did I just walk into? What I just fall into?
Is it in the form of a narrative from Rick Price, or is it more of a third person telling?
It's just reading the book, literally reading the book, the way that it's been written, but it's computerized, generated voice to do
Well,
it.
that's getting better. It's
It's
definitely
getting
getting.
better. Like but for myself, I was like, oh God, man. I mean, I love to put my voice to those pages would be great.
I definitely, and this is the thing that gets frowned upon. I definitely appreciate hearing the author read the book.
Yeah.
A lot of authors are insecure about their voiceover or whatever, their reading ability or whatever. I think it adds a very personal touch to the
Yeah.
reader, the consumer, especially just knowing this is his words and it means it came out of him. It's really important rather than just some.
But imagine this, Matt. Mike Tyson writes a book. It's a 400-page novel, and then he voices it. And then the killer, the killer. I don't know how to do his voice off the top of my
I think
head.
you were doing it pretty good. You were on a good roll there. You should have just went with it. I think you were doing
it. Was good.
But I'm just saying, you get my gist. Some people should not read their own books.
I honestly think I would enjoy the Mike Tyson thing better than an AI thing.
And then
yeah, I would laugh. I'd probably giggle a few times, but
as he snatches the children from the truck.
Yeah.
4,000 people died in those trailers that they were smuggling the humans in. I can't do it.
So, Eric, you're an LA guy now? You're done with New York?
No, I'm not done with New York. I still have a home in Port Washington where my grown-up son refuses to leave. And so I got a small little place out here. I love it out here.
Now, is this one of those things like your son has become a squatter and you just had to get away?
But my son, that is
squatters' rights.
That is exactly right. My son, his girlfriend, his friends. I mean, they're all crashing out in this house, and I was like, "That's it. It's either he goes or I go." And
fine, I'll leave.
I'm going to California.
I'm a Long Island guy by nature. I born on Long Island, lived here most of my life, a good part of my life. And people, I generally every day have to explain that Long Island, the long part, is there for a reason. And there are two places on Long Island that I have never visited until recently, and one of them is Cold Spring Harbor. I went there the first time 2 months ago or a month ago for a paint party I did, and the other one was Port Washington. I had never been to Port Washington until I did a gig there over the winter, and it was surprising to me. Like, there's a lot to Long Island, and you can live here your entire life and not see every friggin' town on Long Island.
And see, I honestly did not know that Long Island was that long. I just thought it was named after Huey Long, and that's what.
And they got that's it.
Have you never looked at a map? Damn you. Anyway, now I'm sorry. The book is called "Thank God for the Sins." I want to talk a little bit about the movie "Toast with the Gods." A retelling of Homer's Odyssey. Now, did this come out before and do you know if before or after "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou"?
It came out before. It came out in 90. I think it came out in 95.
So you're going to sue the Coen brothers. We're announcing this today. Coen brothers lawyers should be on notice.
Yeah, I'm gonna sue the Odyssey's coming out. I think in about 2 months or so. Wow. James Nolan or something like that is doing like the biggest production that Hollywood ever seen before. Wow. It's going to be remarkable. Yeah, I saw some clips from it. It's like spare no expense movie.
Wow.
So it's going to be huge production. But no, this was incredible. I mean, Matt, I graduated film school. I met a film partner there, an Italian guy, just as crazy as I was. We went to De Niro's New York Film Academy, one of the first classes there. And I said, let's write a film. And I sat down and I started writing. The one thing we had in common was we both read Homer's The Odyssey. He's in Italy, I'm in New York. We both grew up reading that thing. I said, then we're going to write The Odyssey. We're going to go over to Seattle because at that time in the mid 90s, grunge was breaking. Seattle was on fire with all the artists and artistic people there. And I said, this is going to be great. We have zero money, but we'll make the most auspicious thing we could possibly do. Let's tell the greatest tale that was ever told, rewrite it so that Homer becomes a drug addict. And he's got to do one last drug deal, and he can't get home to save his wife, who's been taken after by pimps and people that want to sexually exploit her. And he's got to race home, through the city streets of Seattle, and all the gods and goddesses that try to help him, and then the ones that try to stop him. They're every single punk rock person, displaced person, artist, strippers, drug dealers, musicians, everybody, every freak that we could find in Seattle back then was in this movie. We did it for no money. We paid people with beer and cigarettes. And
okay, the old-fashioned way.
Oh yeah, this is when
you make
independent
movies the
filmmaker.
old-fashioned way. Yeah.
This is when independent filmmakers. We bought we shot at 35 mil, but we bought these short rolls. Those are the rolls that they throw away from Hollywood. They're like 35 seconds, 2 minutes long. So you only had enough to do like one shot, And we bought all the old rolls, and we literally guerrilla filmmaked all throughout Seattle, and came out with something quite surprising. We won about 4 or 5 film festivals, had a big underground following, and kind of did magic with nothing. And those things you could have done back then in the early 90s. You can't do that now. But it was that whole spirit of individual guerrilla filmmaking. It was very much like my book, like punk rock itself. It was going out and grabbing what you needed to get, not asking permission and not apologizing.
Yeah. Link is in the description, and you got to buy the book, by the way. Make sure you go and check out the book.
Yeah, please.
It sounds like a better connection to the Odyssey than Oh Brother Where Art Thou. I had to be told Oh Brother Where Art Thou is a retelling of. There you go. I didn't catch it the first 20 times I saw the movie. Somebody had, it's really just the Odyssey. Oh yeah, I guess I could see that. But all right. That's a great. It sounds like a great film. I don't know why I haven't seen it. Now, is it available on streaming services at all? Anyway,
no. You can catch it on YouTube. Now we're having a very cliche situation with our distributor who distributed it back when we had no idea what we were signing or what we were doing. So we have a little distribution issue.
I get copyright strikes for playing my own music from YouTube. It's like, how does this happen? My publishing company doesn't realize that Matt Nappo and Matt Nappo are the same Matt Nappo as the Matt Nappo who wrote the Matt Nappo song.
Well, we have a YouTube station. You can see the movie for free, and you can also see the trailer for free. And if you go to my website, www.ericmagan.com, there's a link there that says Toast with the Gods, so you can see that as well.
All right. One last question, and I'll let you go. Thank you for being on the program here.
Oh, I'm enjoying it.
Earlier on, GD was talking about Devo and what he perceived as them not being true to their original roots. And in punk rock, and this is, they didn't get a lot of backlash. Or at least I don't remember any backlash. Green Day, however, started out with a very purist punk rock following, and then they became a commercial band, and everybody, like, they were phonies. They were not true punk rockers. What do you? Because I still enjoy the music of Green Day, even though it is more commercialized. But I think it still sounds very. I can hear the roots of like Ramones music and all the stuff they do. What's your take on the staying true to your roots and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, look, Green Day's not my favorite band. I appreciate what they've done. I can appreciate the influences that they've taken to reach the sound that they did. I don't know them well enough to know that they really went into music for the money, because I heard some early stuff and it was definitely punk rock. Right. I think they homogenized it. But look, there's nothing more punk than saying, I'm going to go out there and do whatever I need to do to make some money, to cash and survive. I don't necessarily call that selling out. I think that's a really difficult thing to try to do, especially coming from this sort of music genre.
Yeah.
To kind of cross over and then to make it big and then keep on doing it. That's pretty damn punk, man. I can't take that away from them.
Yeah. I heard a music critic talking about Bob Dylan having punk rock maniacal energy with the song with the signs. I forget the name of the song. But yeah, that energy of punk rock. I think punk rock taps into the true spirit of rock and roll. And it's just that anti-establishment, do whatever I want, fuck the system. I'm gonna break the rules type of attitude. And I think that's purely American. If you come back to what it means to be an American, I hate to get on a soapbox here. It's that that whole idea of art. Art is for the people to make, not the society to kind of put rules around and cage it in. So,
Yeah.
I hope we've done some justice in promoting the book. People got to buy the book. Thank God for the Sinners. Link is in the description. It's scrolling across the bottom there. Eric, thank you for being part of the program.
And check out the movie. Check out the movie.
Yeah, totally, guys. Totally enjoyed myself. Really appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. Have a great day. And when we come back to New York, let me know. I'd love to buy you a drink or something and just.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I'm coming back on.
I've been in New York 9 times and he's not bought me one drink. Son of a bitch.
That's because we were drinking free when last time I saw you.
All right.
All right.
Then I'll see you in mid-October.
All right. Bye for now. Thanks.
Take care.
Bye. Eric, we're good. Buy the book. Thank God for the Sinners. Thank God for the sinners. I'm a sinner, so thank God for me. Right?
I don't know what a sinner is. That's never been part of my lifestyle. No. This may surprise you. When I was younger and I was being tested for all these things, one of the tests I took
That's not a good thing to say.
One of the tests I took was a psychological test, and the test is like an abnormal psychology test, similar to that, where it's designed so that if you do it right, you score average. It's like right in the middle. And I got a perfect score. And so they told my mother that either he's a saint or he's a psychopath. And we don't believe it, and we don't believe in saints. And so my mother told me that, and I said to her, "What if I'm a psychopath who thinks he's a saint?"
I don't know. I don't think that's the when you think it is. I don't think it is.
No.
Damn. I'm not sure.
You made my mother think.
A psychopath who thinks he's a saint.
Yes, in other words, I don't do psychopathic things because I really want to be a saint. So I do really try to do good things.
So you're Donald Trump, is what you're saying?
Oh, no, he doesn't try to do good things. He has no code.
Oh, but he thinks he's
he's a narcissist and a psychopath.
But he does think he's a saint. He's been talking lately about wanting to go to heaven.
That's only because he thinks there's cheap real estate there.
Yeah. Is that what
he thinks there's like? Do you think there's like beachfront property there that hasn't been developed?
See, a lot of people are saying, but a lot of the liberal commentators, the podcasters, the streamers, whatever, they're actually giving him credit for thinking maybe he's having a moment of reflection, like maybe understanding that some of the things he did might be heaven blockers. And he might be going to hell. He might thinking that this thought might be actually happening. You don't think he's got any kind of I don't know, self introspection of, man, maybe I haven't been such a good guy.
No, Trump, no.
Wow, that could happen.
No.
All right.
You're talking about Donald Trump, right?
Yeah.
And introspection.
I'm just talking on if you think you're dying.
No.
No. Why do I keep locking up?
He would think that dying was something that even if he were dying, I don't think anybody would tell him. And whatever ailments he had, he would just blame on the liberal media, or the left, or something like that. He's not. He does nothing. Nope.
Wow. All right. So I mean. I think it's hard for me to give him any credit for anything. I mean, you saw how difficult it was for me just to say he's right about this, saying that people are saying they like dictators. But I don't know. Because I've seen enough people.
Well, the thing is, yes, there are people that think that, but he says it like it's everybody.
Yeah.
See, that's what his thing is. He's like, everybody wanted me to fix Roe versus Wade. Everybody wanted me to overturn Roe versus Wade and turn it back to the states.
Big men come up to me with tears in their eyes saying,
and say, "Sir." Yeah. Yeah, so he's a compulsive liar. So and that's the bad part. That's the really bad part, because something may happen again, like COVID, and the nation, out of force, is going to have to turn to him to see where we're headed, and he's just going to be. And even if he had real sound advice, half of us who know he's so full of shit and self-serving are going to go like, I don't believe him. And then I'll wind up dying because he actually would have told the truth once. And I would have ignored the warning or whatever it is. He's such a bad messenger for truth, justice, in the American way.
Oh, look who's been watching Superman. I am committed to the idea that
when General Zod died, I had to do some research.
Oh, wow. I'm committed to the idea that this is going to end the same way Hitler ended. And I've expressed it enough that people should know that.
But he kills his dogs first, and then he and Melania.
Although Melania is not his teenage niece or whatever, like Ava Braun was. Ava Braun was Hitler's niece, right? And he started banging her as a teenager, which fits the Trump. But Melania is not that. And I'm wondering if she will refuse the cyanide pill and try to escape the bunker. It seems like more like it would go that way this time around. But I feel like I'm not going to live to see the resurgence of the United States of America after it's reduced to rubble and the dictator kills himself in the bunker. And that's fine, but I believe it's going to happen. And I would love to if it happened quick, because I don't want to live too old, because I'm already feeling like I'm too old.
Matt, I think you're conflating two different women. Ava Braun was not related to Hitler, although he did have a niece named Gela Robel.
Okay.
And she had a relationship with him.
Right. And he had there were porno tapes or something too, right? With him with foxtail stuff shoved up his ass dancing for her or something. This is I don't know how true that is. This is something that's been stuck in my head for 40 years now. Somebody told me they found 8mm tapes of Hitler, pornographic tapes of him with his niece. So, yeah, I know he was into kids and so I really, I don't believe in reincarnation in general, as I reject the idea of it. But when I see this Hitler energy, it was in Napoleon, it comes back in Hitler, and now you're seeing Trump mask it or model it to such a strong degree that it almost feels like it's the same person. All he needs is this mustache, and it is Hitler. So I
may have the mustache, it's just under bronzer. No, I'm just
So it gives me pause to think maybe there's something to this fucking reincarnation stuff, and maybe I've been dismissing it too much.
But when did Hitler die? And when was Trump
Hitler died 9 months before Trump was born. That also leads to the whole or supposedly died. Now, there are people who say he didn't die. He went to Brazil, which is a whole other fucking nightmare. Imagine, I mean, my son used to bring this up to me all the time. Imagine being stuck in a U-boat. U-boats were not like submarines. It's not comfortable. It was cold and damp and dark. Being stuck in a U-boat, just the pilot, driver, whatever, captain of that boat, and Hitler on meth and whatever other drugs he was on. It's stuck for 2 weeks under a cold, damp ocean to go to Brazil. That's got to be the worst fucking torture I can imagine. I got an idea how we're going to treat prisoners. Put them in a U-boat with Hitler for 2 weeks underneath the cold Atlantic Ocean. That's what we should do to people. But some people say he didn't die then. But if he did die when he supposedly died in April 30th, I think, of 1945, that would be 9 months or so before Trump was born. That makes sense according to all the reincarnation. I'm stuck on the reincarnation of Peter Proud nonsense, where they say it was 9 months between a soul passing and finding its new, which is why the human gestation period supposedly lasts 9 months. There are other people. It's real if you believe it. See, that's not true. I believe I have hair on top of my head. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. Didn't work. But so, and I'm not saying they've convinced me that reincarnation is real, but it's hard to separate the things Hitler did from what it feels like he and I know Ivana, his first wife, said he used to study Mein Kampf, and I don't
Well, he
doubt
had it
that.
by the bed.
Yeah.
Studying is he may have had the audio book. I don't know.
Well,
I just can't imagine Trump reading with any kind of comprehension.
Yeah, that's true. And there are people who say he can't read. He has like the reading ability of like a second grade reading.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna say third grader. Because you watch him read and you see the difficulty he's having with words and concepts. Even if he gets the word right, he gets the concept what it means wrong.
Yeah.
So he doesn't. He's not a bright person, at least not in the traditional sense. I think when it comes to reading and manipulating people, he's a fucking evil genius.
Yeah.
But other than that, no.
Evil genius.
Yeah.
It's weird how you can be a fucking idiot and evil genius in the same person. Well,
it's kind of like it's like you can have a circle that's a perfect circle, but the circle will never be a square. A square can be a perfect square and never be a circle. They can all be perfect, but just will never be alike.
I feel like Donald Trump now. I mean, it's really stupid because I don't get that, but that's fine. I don't have to get everything.
I'm just saying there's various degrees of perfection, of being the best of something, and you're not like the other things that are the best at what they do.
How about the Mets, huh?
Oh, the second baseman is excellent.
Well, I think Brett Batty is playing second base now, which
I have no idea.
Brett Batty.
Honestly, you could tell me that Ann Rothy is playing second base, and I would say, okay, fine.
Well, yesterday I read something in one of the Mets forum groups online. It said the Mets are trying to bring up their phenom from AAA to bolster their postseason performance. And I'm like, isn't that cute? The Mets think they're going to the postseason. They're not a lock by any means. For these people to say, well, they're prepared for the playoffs. That's like, I'm also preparing for my next major starring role with Ana de Armas along those lines, but it's not going to happen. What's happening? Did I just get a paint party come through? Is that what just happened? Do you know? You don't know?
No, I don't know. I didn't think it was a paint party. Actually, I thought it was a color by magic marker number set thing that you were doing.
Oh, this is oh no, fuck that. Paint party in Glen Cove. Now Glen Cove is. I just got a paint party in Glen Cove. Glen Cove is another one of those areas of Long Island that could go either way. Could be snobby people, could be down to earth people. You never know.
Well, I'm not very. Well, my painting skills are very, very rusty. Very rusty. I'd have to hone up on if I was going to do that. But I could do a pint party where everybody brings like 16 ounces of a liquid, and we sit around and enjoy them. I could do a pint party.
Kyle says belief only works if you eliminate the doubt part fully. That's dangerous. First of all, I'm not sure that can even be accomplished.
So if you take somebody, let's say you take somebody on acid, and they have no doubt in their mind that they can fly, and
I've been that person.
And you put them, let's say, 4 feet beyond the edge of a building.
Yeah, they die.
You think so? Because they would have no doubt in their mind that they could fly.
Again, I've been that person. And yes, they fall. And I've unfortunately known a few people who have died because of LSD trips. I knew one guy, this guy, back in the day, we probably took the warnings a little too lightly. The guy's name was Nutsy. So we should start off with, and he was an LSD dealer. He's the guy who put me in the business of stealing LSD, and he went on purpose, intentionally, did bladder acid every day for 90 days. And then he jumped out of a building thinking he was Superman, and he killed himself. So, yeah, I've been there.
Well, then he was. He was probably the first version of Superman with George Reeves. Is that what's his name?
Yeah.
So that's the version he was. It's like, so he probably really was Superman. He should have envisioned one of the ones that lived.
Yeah. I don't discount, for Kyle's edification, I don't discount the power of belief. And certainly, I say this in every paint party. The biggest challenge with painting, especially for newbies, if you believe you have no talent, you go into it with a defeatist attitude. And I try to start off by saying, I'm the guy who failed elementary school art class. Like, I couldn't draw a straight line. I did not know. I could not mix blue and yellow and come up with a decent green. This is the guy I was. But what changed it for me was a belief system that I could do something that qualified as art in some circles. The first time I did an attempt at painting and fell asleep with some of the paintings on my coffee table, my friend Frank came over and he thought they were paint by number stuff. And I said, well, no, they're freehand. And he said, wow, it's pretty good. And that gave me the belief that I could do something. And I always say that with painting, even when you're starting out, and okay, we've done the background, don't start to doubt yourself. Keep in mind, if you keep the faith, I promise you, you're going to come away with something that looks like a piece of art. So there is something to that belief stuff, but I don't think it goes as far as like the Tony Robbins. You believe it, you can see it, you can achieve whatever you believe in. I could believe I could play one-on-one. I could really lose all the doubt that I have. I could beat Michael Jordan one-on-one in basketball, and I could believe that wholeheartedly. And I've seen people with that belief get crushed in whatever they want. And Willie's a perfect example. He thinks he could be and should be the best, most well-known comedian in the world.
Or singer.
And thinks he's on that level. And then reality kicks him in the ass over and over and over again, and he still refuses to get the message that, no, you need to put the work in. Oh, no, all I need is belief, man, manifestation. No, it doesn't work that way. The belief is a catalyst for you to put in the work. But if you don't put in that work, you're gonna suck. You're gonna suck. And I think we have proof of that. We can prove Willie sucks, can't we? I don't know if you can prove that. Yeah, we can prove that.
When I was in high school, I had a painting on display. Everybody loved it. But it came out of frustration because I was trying to do a beach scene with people playing with a beach ball in the ocean, and I couldn't get things right. The only thing I got right was the ocean and the beach ball, and everything else, with oil, you can just keep, you can keep erasing, so to speak, and and so I eventually just had the beach and the beach ball, and I made a pool of blood around the beach ball. so there's just a beach ball floating in a pool of blood, and people go like, "Wow, that tells such a story. What a story being told by that, And
the shark thought they were seals.
Yes, but it was just I just couldn't get it right. I couldn't. It's like, that's not right. I can't get the people right. I can't get it right. And so I just gave up. I mean, I was close to the deadline, and I had to submit something. So I just said, "Fuck it." The people all got eaten, and so there's just a pool of blood around the beach ball.
Yeah, we're having that problem here on Long Island currently. Sharks are all over the place. My computer's logging up. Kyle says belief with action. Yeah. Now
we did that. The people with LSD who believed they really could fly, and their action was they stepped off the side of the building.
It's a couple of things. It's and like, I hate to act like I have all the answers. I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. But I think there are more ingredients than just belief with action. Belief with action, patience, perseverance. But patience is the big thing.
The actual possibility that it can be done.
Yeah. Yeah, you can believe you have hair. Take the steps to get the things you need to grow the hair. Bam, you now have hair because no, not bam, not bam. See, the bam part is where I think you lose me.
No, it should be bam bam. Everybody knows it's bam
Bam,
bam.
bam, 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 bam.
Bam bam. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, patience,
He's young. He
perseverance,
doesn't know
time.
about bam bam. He's young. He doesn't
Yeah.
know.
I see a lot of, and it's just human nature. Like I think I mentioned my wife. She was using this charcoal toothpaste, and she said how many people were commenting about how bright and white her teeth looked, and she gave it to me, and I was like, she got me some, and I was brushing my teeth with it, and like after a month, I'm like, how long does it take? when does it kick in? And then I'm like, I'm going back to my regular tooth. Patience is a big part of it, not giving up, perseverance, and all that stuff. It's another important ingredient. But I think we're on the same page with what Kyle is saying there. I do think if you believe you can't, are definitely sabotaging yourself, and it will make it really hard to achieve anything as long as you believe you're going to fail. It's not a good thing. But I don't think believing that you can is necessarily a guarantee, even if you take action and have patience, the right strategies, listening to the right advice, doing things the right way. All that plays a part of it. There's no guarantees in life. And I think it's easy to
I can pretty much guarantee that there are no guarantees in life.
I can guarantee it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's people like things that feel easy, and it's easy to believe in the law of attraction. If I just believe it, it will come true, and that there are no guarantees of that. It's for some people. And what do you think about that? Do you think there is such a thing as predetermined success? People who just seem like everything went their way, despite having like a mediocre or not the greatest talent.
I tell you what, I'm amazed by. I'm amazed by the number of people that I see that are successful, and then I find out later that their mother or father were like an actor or an actress in that field. Like I said, or their uncle, somebody who was somebody. Yeah, they may have had talent. I mean, there are lots of people with talent, but don't get noticed because you don't have somebody to shine a spotlight on them or to help them up or give them the break. So, and I don't believe in that kind of predetermination, but there are some factors that will help others get better results with the same talent than others.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of confusing when you look at the big picture of the thing about how people who have not the greatest skill sets, talent, whatever, rise to the top and become world famous and celebrated by the masses. And then you see somebody with far superior skills and not getting noticed, not getting. And I'm wondering, is there such a thing as luck or predetermination or any of this stuff that makes the difference? Because in some cases, it just seems like unfair. It just seems unfair, and I hate to use that word because life isn't fair. But I don't know any other way to describe it other than there's no way to explain why some people rise to the top despite not having the greatest skills and talents, and other people don't go anywhere despite having a great amount of talent and skill. It's just hard to reconcile. Where you put your energy, it's going to say to us, let me read this. Where you put your energy can get you results, but not always. I agree with you, Sunshine, that happens quite often. But there are people who seem to do all the right things, follow the right strategies, and still get nowhere. And I have to think, like, I don't know, there's something bigger at play, whether it's luck or.
When I was a youth, and I was,
you were a big shoot.
Oh no, just a regular youth. And I was my mother once my mother found Jesus, and because I used to talk to my mom about problems that I was having, whatever. She was still someone I would bounce stuff off of, and my mother would almost always say something like, "Well, the good Lord doesn't give you more than you could handle."
Oh,
and that thing. And so I said to my mother, I said, Mom, I said, how do you know the difference? No, because sometimes you go, that's a sign for the Lord. That's a sign from the Lord that you should give up. Or she'd say, that's a sign from the Lord that you just need to work harder. But it'd be like the same fucking obstacle. And so I said to my mother, well, how do you know the difference between when you should give up and when you should work through the obstacle? And she goes something like, if you succeed, then you were supposed to work through the obstacle. If you don't, you should have given up. I was like, no, that's...
I got to say, it seems to me that God is probably not the best sign writer. He needs to work on his communication skills, because if you can confuse his message with, should I give up or keep going? Give me a fucking sign. Well, here's a sign. Here's your sign. That's Billy Engvall.
When I got stuck, I think what's that? Oh yeah, that's what's involved. So when I got struck by lightning twice, and I was in the hospital, I got struck by lightning twice. I'm in the hospital, Catholic hospital, so St. Agnes. So a nun comes around to me, and she says, "I hear you were struck by lightning twice." And I said, "Yes." And she goes, "And you survived?" I said, "Yes." Obviously, I survived. I'm like right there. But she goes, she says, "I really think God was trying to tell you something." And so I said, I didn't clear my throat there. I'm just clearing my throat now.
Oh.
I said, then God needs to read his own damn book. Because God said, I said, in the Bible, it says, I'm not in the storm. I'm not in the lightning. I'm not in the rain. I'm not in the thunder. I am in the stillness of the breeze. I said, so God doesn't read his own book, so he didn't write it in the first place, because that was lightning. Okay. I said, I have paper and pen on my desk. He can leave me a note anytime he wants. He doesn't have to shock me with lightning twice.
Yeah.
Because whatever the message was, I didn't get it. That's it.
Well, being a guy who has, we're out of time here. Well, we're out of time. What does that mean? Tomorrow we have John Fella on the program. I could tell you a bit about that. It's about faith and fatherhood and all that stuff. He's a good fella, John Fella. I was thinking about this the other day because I hate to even say his name. The guy who's responsible for Kumbaya being part of our opening there, somebody who used to be on the program, and is one of these guys who got involved in the stuff that the guys yesterday were into, the metaphysical belief stuff, and this, what I call Kumbaya, law of attraction belief. And I've been down that road for 45 years and talked to every self-help writer. It started with me. I don't know if I've ever talked about that. It started with me with firewalking. Do you remember the firewalking days?
Yeah, I remember. I've done that.
Yeah. And the people who, all you have to do is believe you can walk on hot coals, and you can, and you don't get sins and all that stuff. But we all did it, but some people got their feet burned really bad.
Yeah.
So I've been down this road and talked to all these people. The problem I have with the people like the guy I don't want to mention, who is responsible for Kumbaya being in the opening now, he was on this program, and he was constantly trying to indoctrinate people into believing he found something that is the truth, the real truth, the foundational truth of the human existence. And he believes this with all his heart. And I can appreciate that, because I've been sucked into that with religion. I've been sucked into that with self-help books and firewalking, all this kind of nonsense that I got involved in. But you don't, and this is where it becomes totally fucking annoying, is when you preach this shit like you are, like you've studied every aspect of theology, science, and all this stuff, and come up with this theory of everything that works, and you want to preach it to people. And I come back with the idea that people believed in Jesus, or even if you just take it as a mythology or whatever it is, the story of Jesus, the followers believed in him because they saw him do miracles. They saw him walk on water. They saw him fill a boat with fish when there were no fish. All this, they saw it with their own two eyes. And if you want to start preaching to me about what I should do in terms of how I believe and what I should do. Let me see you walk on water. Let me see you do one miracle before you qualify yourself as an expert because you read a book on it or it's changed your life. Good for you. I'm glad it changed your life. But before you start preaching to me and a wider audience, get some miracle chops together.
And now, quite often we don't know about these people unless they became successful, and then they say, "Well, I became successful because I did this."
Right.
And there are other people who are doing it, and maybe just as well, who don't become successful.
Right.
Or people who didn't do a damn thing like that. It's like, nah, I was stupid. I was running around. I was doing this. I was that. I wrecked my car 4 times. It's a miracle that I didn't bash my brains out. And one day I'm like walking from one of my car accidents, and the guy goes, "You should be in Hollywood." Something stupid like that.
Well, I'm going to say his name. Zinn, Mike Zinn, who used to be. He was on the program. He's been on the guest on the program. He even had access to just pop in whenever he wanted for a time. But anytime anybody would say anything, he'd chime in with, "This is what you need to do to fix it." Like, this is a guy who he was 59 years old or something and still living in a studio apartment, driving a shit. I mean, never had a solid career in anything, never had any major successes, but he read books on self-help and surrounded himself with psychics and these people who believe in magic and all this stuff. And every chance he got when somebody was talking about a challenge, "Oh, well, this is what you need to do." Don't preach. Oh, I'm not preaching. Yeah, maybe you don't hear it. But there's a reason why everybody finds you fucking annoying. It's because you're talking like you have all the answers, and you don't. None of us do. So that's where
one of us does.
Is that you? Are you the one? Are you the one?
I am the Neo.
Do you have water? Because I want to see you walk on. I've seen you walk on grass. I don't know. I haven't seen you walk on water.
Oh, I was going to walk on it, but I need to drink. I'm really thirsty, and I don't have enough water to walk on it and drink it.
All right. How about some healing? Can you do a healing demonstration and raise the lane?
Yeah. Okay. Right now, I'm gonna, and I hate doing this because I usually save this for special occasions. But here we go. Oh, got put on the camera. Got put on the computer screen. There's a man up there. I feel him. He's in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He's got warts on his left hand and gonorrhea on his right. I'm going to heal him of the warts and gonorrhea. Okay, here we go. Yes, he's been healed. I just healed a man in New Mexico from gonorrhea and warts. I just did it.
Wow, I'm surprised that gonorrhea is still a thing in 2025. I mean,
in New Mexico, it is.
I bet. Yeah, if it was going to be anywhere, that's where it would be.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And I think that's why I came through so strong, because there's so many cases of, matter of fact, there's so many cases of gonorrhea. It was really hard for me to focus on that one guy.
Yeah.
But
thank you for healing that.
Yeah.
Now for that guy who just got healed, you might want to donate to the cause a little bit. Maybe get some.
He should. I think he should.
You know what? If you're on YouTube, you could and Twitch, whatever, you could drop a few shekels in the shekel machine there for us. No, I mean, we just cured your warts and gonorrhea. Now, for me, the gonorrhea is more important than the warts. But
you just said something that made me think. Because we have machines here that take our coins, and coins aren't universal. I mean, I'm just thinking that if they put because like I have a coin from Tonga. I don't know I don't remember what the amount is, but it's from Tonga. It's Tonganese money. I guess when they put soda machines in Tonga, they have to adjust them so that Tonga money works, or are all coins have the same what is it, the conductivity that
I don't know. I used to do tricks with the Mexican centavo. And what a centavo was a Mexican cent. But
right, I used to have them. I used to have some.
Not equal to a American penny. Do we even have penny? I thought Trump outlawed pennies or something. But
No, we
was
still
I
have
think it
them.
was I think it was like 100th of a this day. Why even make a coin if it's only worth, and it was much bigger. It was like a $half size, and it's worth 1/100th of a penny. I mean, that seems like the metal in it would be worth far more than 100th of a penny. Just a weird thing. I don't know, but now the dollar is taking a real tank too. The dollar's not going to be like the foundational currency in a short period. We're headed, and nobody wants to even talk about that. The devaluation of the American dollar. It's
Well, you know what they're going to, well, this is what Trump would do, because we're supposed to have been putting Harriet Tubman on the 10, is it, or the 20?
Yeah,
The 20,
10.
I think, the 10. Yeah, the Tubman 10. So in theory, we're supposed to be putting Harriet Tubman on the 10. But I think if we get rid of the $1 bill, the day before we get rid of the $1 bill, Trump says, "Okay, we're going to put Harriet Tubman on the 1, and then
I
get
think
rid
we
of the
got to
1."
get rid of the $3 bill because it's inappropriate advances towards the staff. Get rid of the $3 bill.
Now, I haven't seen $2 bills in a very, 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 very long time.
Stanhope's got a collection of them. He was taking up. I don't know. He was buying them from people. I think I forget how, but I know he's got
For $2.
Yeah, and why? No, I think he was paying $3 for a $2 bill or whatever to get people to do it. If you have $2 bills, I don't think he's doing that anymore. But when they get? I mean, if they do away with them, will they still be worth the $2?
Well, if he gets away with them, because I think technically we have gotten rid of the $2 bills. They don't make them anymore. So,
right. But they still honor them, right?
Oh yeah, they still honor them because it's still legal tender. But the aftermarket for it, not the cash, not the merchandise, not the purchasing power of it, but the people willing to pay money or willing to purchase a $2 bill, that amount has gone up.
Speaking of $2 bill, where is Big Beautiful Bill? People come and go around here. Of all the people that had once
and with no respect, almost like they're free. Like it's like we have some kind of open door policy where they can just come and go as they please. It's just it's saddening. It's sad.
People join the chat room for like 6 months at a time, and then you never hear from them again.
Yeah, they come in, they don't wipe their feet, they leave a mess, and then they go.
Yeah. Well, if you're a person like that, please stick around. Come back tomorrow. Tomorrow we have John Fella, who's a good fella. We're going to talk about faith and fatherhood and all that kind of stuff. And maybe I'll be more entertaining tomorrow. I made myself laugh with that.
For a second, I was stunned. I was like,
how could I possibly be more entertaining? Right?
I was gonna say, was he serious? Did he really say that?
Yeah, he can't be more entertaining than that. Anyway, that's the show for you today. Thanks for coming. Please leave comments and stuff. I'm going to be putting out a video tonight, probably set it for a premiere. And if you would go there and leave comments too. I ask people for comments, and very few people leave comments on these videos. It makes all the difference in the world with YouTube if you have a video up there and people leave comments. YouTube thinks, well, we need to show this to more people.
Isn't a like enough? Does it have to have a comment as well?
Likes aren't as important. Comments are far more important because the like is easy. You can just hit that button. YouTube says, wow, they went out of their way to actually type, this sucks. And again, you don't have to leave a positive comment. Any comment will do. You could tell me I suck. I'm fine with that. YouTube will help show it to more people.
I will have to leave comments because I just tendency to hit like and try to watch it to the end so they get like the full compliment.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate all of it. Likes are welcome. Comments are welcome. Shares are definitely welcome. All of that.
I think I'll write comment in the comment section. Does that help?
Yeah, that definitely helps.
Okay.
And is Ron Kane ever coming back? Have you talked to Ron? Or he's never coming back?
I texted with him the other day, and he asked how the show was going. And I think I said something like, "Much better now that you're gone." I can't.
I would have said, "What show?" Oh, we stopped doing that years ago.
Let me see. I can take because I asked him. I asked him how he was doing and how his mom was doing.
And his request was, fuck your family. How's the show doing?
Yeah.
Not concerned about your family. Like you could have the worst tragedy going on at all. He doesn't care. How's the show going?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, he just said, yeah, I reached out to him, asking him how it goes. He goes, who did I wrote? Oh, he says, how are you doing? How's the pod? Yeah, so that was his, and I told him how things were going, that you were still dying from ass cancer and stuff like that.
Well, you go and you're healing dudes with fucking warts and gonorrhea. Why are you not fucking taking care of my prostate cancer?
Well, that's because now, and I mean this in the nicest way.
You want me to die? I get it. No.
Okay, so I mean this in the most truthful way. Yeah.
I want to die. No, I don't say that like. Well, I say that because I'm not happy with this world, but I don't want to suffer. Even though enjoy the suffering is, I don't want. When I say I'm ready to die. Not by cancer. I want somebody to sneak up behind me and put a bullet in my brain without telling me.
Well, here's and this is the thing with science. Okay, this is how science works. If I remove your ass cancer, I'm gonna leave a void. I have to have something to fill it with, and if I just leave the void, I don't know what will replace the ass cancer in your ass. And I'm sure that you would like to have some kind of say over what goes in your ass if it's not the ass cancer.
Yeah.
So
bouquet of roses that have been dethorned.
Okay, I will work on that. And if I can conjure that up, then I will remove the ass cancer and replace it with roses that have been dethroned.
There's a Rolling Stone song in there somewhere. And I won't forget to put roses up your ass. All right. That's a show for you today. Listen, folks, if you got nothing better to do, then what I recommend is turning on your radio. Bye for now. Have a great day.
I listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me.